Mhm. Okay, here we go.
It's that time, 9 o'clock p.m. Check your watch or your clock. It's time for Hey Bitches Live with the original Hey Bitches herself, often imitated, never duplicated, Miss Helena Hologram. Hey Bitches, let's talk about it. Oh,
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Hey Bitches Live. I'm your girl, Helena Hologram. I'm your hostess, the original Hey Bitches herself, often imitated, never duplicated, honey. I am the original Hey Bitches, Miss Thing, whatever you want to call it. I'm just grateful to be here. I thank you all for showing up. We have a very special guest, and she's special in more ways than one. She's special just because of who she is, and she's special to me. Remember, no kids allowed. Any music or sounds you hear in the background, I don't own the rights to nothing. Because if I did, I probably wouldn't be online talking to you right now. I'd probably be in California somewhere, laying on. No, not in California. I wouldn't be in Florida either, because those are not the places to go at this particular point in time, considering we got this virus going on. Hello, son. How are you? So, couple of notes. A good friend, another member of the Nighthawk Network, Meech, his cousin passed today. I ask that you please keep his family in prayer. We also have Coach V, who was admitted to the hospital today. I'm asking you to keep him in your prayers. And like I tell you guys all the time, when it comes down to prayers, send up the timbers. You don't need to get into all the logistics. Just send up their name. God knows all. Just say, God, do whatever you need to do with brother so and so, sister so and so. See, sometimes we spend so much time being nosy and figuring out what the situation is that we don't even pray for the situation. You just pray. God knows what's up. Pray for Meech and his family. Pray for Coach V. I ask you to pray for the Nighthawk Network. And even in this day and time, I ask y'all, please take time and pray for the homeless, because this weather is wicked. When I tell you this wicked weather is wicked out there, and that's something that we'll have another conversation, another show about homelessness. I'm blessed, son, homelessness and things of that nature. But I say thank you. But what we're gonna do is, like I said, I have my special guest. I'm not even gonna take the time and introduce her, because I want her to introduce herself. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my guest for the evening, all the way from Newark, New Jersey, honey. Y'all better get ready, honey. This is my spiritual mother, so y'all better be ready, honey. She is on point and on point and on point. Hello, mother dear.
Well, hello, Helena. How are you this evening?
See, this is my beautiful spiritual mother. She's known. I ain't gonna tell you how long she known me, because then I'm gonna start aging myself. But anyway,
What do you say?
I tell people all the time, black might not crack, but a damn sure wrinkle, honey. Don't ever be. So, Mom, take this time and introduce yourself to everybody. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Just tell them about you.
Just tell them about me. Well,
Yes,
me
tell them about.
is
Yes.
Reverend Jerry Lee on a good day.
Mm-hmm.
I've been presently serving as assistant pastor at Unity Fellowship Church, Newark, in
Okay.
Newark, New Jersey. I'm a book author. I have a number of books out. I have a business called So What? So What Bag Lady. I make bags from recycled fabric. So I
Okay.
do a lot of things, but my biggest passion is as outreach in the community, working with the homeless, working with domestic violence,
Mm-hmm.
mental wellness, health and wellness, trying to keep people healthy, especially during a time like this, trying to get people to understand that food can be healing and your behaviors can be risky, and you are the only one that can take the best care of yourself.
There you
So it's
go.
real important during this, especially during this time, but even outside of this time, to take care of yourself and keep yourself healthy. So that those are like my biggest passions, and I've been doing that for the last 20 something years.
Right.
And
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
it's like in my DNA. It's in my
Right.
DNA. That's what I do. That's what I
Right.
do.
Right. But
People always, yeah, people always, walk around. What is my purpose? What is my purpose? I've always known what my purpose is because I've always walked in my purpose. What God purposed me to do. and I
Right,
try my
right.
best to do the best job that I can, because I have this saying, be careful how you walk your journey, because you do never know who's watching.
Child, I know they've
So,
been watching Helena for years, honey. But anyway,
so absolutely. So you got to be careful how you walk, but you don't know who you're going to impress. You don't know who you're going to impart some information to. So you don't want to give out misinformation, and you don't know who's watching your behavior, saying, I can be just as classy as Helena. I'm going to give that a go.
yes, honey, be as
I'm
classy as
important.
Helena because I'm a lady.
So that's I'm a grandmother.
Okay. How many
My I'm a
grandbabies?
and I'm a mom, a grandmother. I have two grandbabies.
Okay.
I have three children. Um,
Well,
and
let me tell this story real quick. She has one grandbaby that loves Helena. She lo- she can see Helena jump up in Helena arms and everything, but as soon as she be like, "Who? This is me, not who the hell is you?" Not she don't say it like that, but she give you that look like I don't like you. But that's my baby. She was at my wedding. She was a star at the wedding. I was just there, and then again, and you actually helped perform my wedding.
yeah,
You, Reverend McCarthy, and Pastor Harris.
right.
And then another thing I want you guys to know is that um, she's been to Howard Theology School. Am I correct?
Yep. I attended North School of Theology, Howard School of Theology when they had Saturday sessions there.
Right.
Um, and continuing education. Like right now, since this pandemic, like they offer a lot of courses online. I've been
Hmm.
taking courses and getting certificates left and right. So
But
you
do
never
you
stop learning.
right? But okay, my question for that is the advantage to doing courses online is that it also teaches you to be committed and dedicated because if you're not, it's going to be a waste of time.
Right. You have to be disciplined.
Yeah, it most definitely is a discipline thing. So if you're looking for some discipline, if you want to take online courses, that's the place to be. Now for me, I can't because I'm an on hands kind of person. I have to have a teacher yelling in my ear. I got to have a teacher. But for those of you who don't need that, I would encourage you to take online courses. Take one at a time to see how you like it, and then ease your way in.
Exactly.
Because I would never tell you go ahead and take a full load of online courses because after probably the first week you're gonna quit.
Exactly. And plus they have now you have some of these online courses that have there was a site that offered you free online courses with certificates through the year of 2020. Now, I don't know if they're going to continue it in 2021, but
Right.
there are a number of sites that offer you free, really free, because I've taken them, online classes.
Oh wow. What, are they like general studies or are they like
They're all different topics. Can I give the site for it?
yeah, yeah. Give it to
Okay.
me. I'm gonna type it in.
It's Coursera,
C O
Courrsera
U Coursera.
dot, dot com.
Hey Amy Love. When I post it up there, mom, tell me if it's right. Is this it? Let's see. Is that it? Can you see it
Yeah.
on my tab? That's the correct
Uh-huh.
spelling of it? Y'all
Yes,
check this.
Coursera.com.
Y'all check this out as far as courses for all of you who've always wanted to get back to school. This is your time to interact and have that opportunity to further your education because no matter what comes and what goes, people can try to do and take whatever they want from you, but they cannot take away your knowledge, honey. So
Right. It's
knowledge
going to
is what.
come up Coursera. Right. It's going to come up Coursera.com or Coursera.org. And then
Okay.
you'll see one Coursera.com free courses.
Okay, so y'all go check out Coursera.com free
It'll
courses.
automatically come up.
And it'll come up for you. That's good. That's good. That's good.
There
Reverend
you
Jerry
go.
Lee was Reverend Jerry Lee was talking earlier about getting
There you
ourselves
go.
together. But good evening, Eric. I tell everybody all the time. We have to get to the point where we are balanced physically, mentally, and spiritually. We need to be totally balanced. And when we're not, it shows in our
Ab-
everyday walk when we're not balanced.
Absolutely.
Hey, Eric. So
Absolutely.
what we're gonna do? I was talking to my spiritual mom earlier. We're gonna we're gonna work on some commercials for her and her wonderful endeavor. You know, she does the beautiful handbags, and if I'm not mistaken, she do most of her handbags from recyclable materials, right?
That's correct.
So does it from recycle. Hey sister, how are you? Hey Israel, everybody say hi to my spiritual mom. So what we're ready to do is we're ready to get into our conversation. And like I always say, keep two things in mind. We're always respectful in anything that we do. And if any of you are ever too shy to ask a question, inbox me. I won't even use your name, but I will read the question because I don't want any of you to think that because you're shy, your question won't be heard. There's always a way you can inbox Helena or you can email Derek. It doesn't matter because we want, hey, TC, we want your questions and everything to be heard. Right. That's it, Amy. That's it. And I'm going to tell you like this. Sometimes I just do the name and the .com because I'm like, everybody should know that it's www dot. But Amy put it up there. So that's what it is. And you can check out the free classes and the other classes on there for those of you who wants to further your education, which I think. Hello, Mr. Hill. How are you? See, that's my other technician. That's the main technician. I'm just the person in the back. I've always liked the back, honey. I don't need to be in front. So, Ma, tell us. We're gonna talk right now about spirituality and sexuality. The floor is yours.
Well, I thank you so much. Now, I know you made a statement in the beginning. This is for adults only,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I'm going to talk to you like grown folks. So, but spirituality, sexuality, it's an age-old conversation because people always refer back to what the Bible says,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
understanding or misunderstanding or misinterpreting the Bible for what it says, because a lot of the philosophy and rules and regulations in the Bible, they they didn't even pertain to homosexuality or sexuality, period.
Right.
But if you read your Bible carefully, there was a whole lot of stepping out with each other's wives,
Oh, yes,
uh,
Lord.
take, taking each other's wives away from them, being sexually
Promiscuous.
involved with other women, with many women other than their wives. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on in that Bible. So I
Arranged
tell people the next.
marriages.
Exactly. So the next time people, say, well, the Bible says, I said, you need to recheck that as to what the Bible says. Now, the Bible does have some good words, some good stories, and some excellent lessons. Some of the things we're still dealing with today that they dealt with 2,000 years ago. But
Right.
it's not to be used as a tool to beat people up. And one of the areas that church going, whether you be Christian, Muslim, Jewish, or whatever, wrestle with is their sexuality. And sexuality is not who you're sleeping with. The sexuality that I'm talking about is the sexuality of you, of your body, what you think about your body, what you think about. Are you a sexual person? Not are you a whore hopper, but are you a sexual person? How do you feel about your body? Um,
Right.
what are some of the things that come along with that? I guess the prime example, when we talk about spirituality and sexuality, people need to understand that the biggest story they always bring up is Sodom and Gomorrah.
Tell the story. Come on.
How if
And that's what they
in a pill
always throw in your face.
in a pillar of salt.
Yes.
For the record, if you read it carefully, Sodom and Gomorrah had nothing to do with homosexuality or anything else. It had to do with greed, lying, cheating, and not taking care of each other as neighbors.
Right.
Inhospitality, right?
Right.
Being inhospitable. It had nothing to do with
And
homosexuality.
And
So
they were
just to
so,
clear the record on that, and if you don't believe me, read the Bible. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But
and they
our sexuality and spirituality, so many of us suffer with it
so
because of the way that we've been raised, uh, because of because of our spiritual beliefs in the past, because the way our parents, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, whoever, our mothers, fathers have raised us, it's so ingrained in us that we don't really take a look at our spirituality. Why has God created us as spiritual beings? We will be sexual beings until we are 6 feet under. Now, how you deal or work with that sexuality is up to you, the decisions that you make. But we will all be sexual beings until we are 6 feet under. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can try to suppress it, you can try to hide it, but that's the 411 on that. We were all sexual beings. So, sexuality and spirituality, we spend so much time trying to divide the two, trying to keep them apart, when the reality is that we should be combining them together. Spirituality and sexuality belong together. We waste so much time, sexuality over here and spirituality over here. Sexuality is a sin and we should cover it. And doing that, we don't get the real true meaning of our spirituality because we're so busy worrying about the sexuality part, what we can and cannot do sexually. So that's a real important part. And the best example that I can give people about sexuality and spirituality, that when you get into your groove thing, what is the thing that you holler out when you have a good orgasm? Oh God, or Jesus. So I just use that as a tidbit, as a line. Remember the last time you had an orgasm, what'd you holler out? You might have hollered out a curse word, but a whole lot of people said, "Oh God, Jesus," and so forth and so on. So that's just an example of how our spirituality and sexuality are combined with each other. So, and by doing that, by separating your spirituality and your sexuality, it it brings on internal struggles within yourself
right,
instead of really just living as a sexual being
right.
and a spiritual being.
Big Demetrius said he loved this. Oh, you love this hair? Okay, it's a little something, something. Right? It's a little, but one thing when you was talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, and then people have to realize that if you read it, they even got to the point where they weren't even hospitable to God's angels. They were just not hospitable. Period.
Exactly. Exactly. So our spirituality and sexuality are so connected, and people struggle with living them connected instead of trying to separate them.
Right, right. So what do you
That's
say?
the big
What do you
problem.
say to a young person who is just getting into, for lack of a better word, their gayness, but they've actually have been beat up so much that they believe within themselves from what they went through that they can't be gay and love God.
Gay and God. A whole lot of people have a whole lot of problems having, putting the two of them together. The thing I tell them is that if God created us all, God already knew who we were going to be before we were on this earth. When we were a seed, when we were a thought, God already knew who we were going to be. You
Right,
know, God loves you just as you are. Why would you be created that way if you weren't supposed to be that way? And again, there's going to be a whole lot of discussions and, pros and cons against it. But when we come into this earth, when we're born, we are who we are, and how we develop into who we are. Just like there's always the argument when gay couples adopt children. Oh, your children are going to be gay. No, they won't.
girl.
Not
Well,
unless they were born that way anyway. Because you have gay parents does not mean you're going to be a gay person. Okay.
no.
So It just it's the beat up, and it's a very difficult thing to deal with. I've done mental health counseling along these lines as well, and it's a difficult thing, especially with young people, because they have been beat up so much. I mean, young people have been put out of their homes.
Yes, come on, talk
They've
about it.
been, ostracized. You can't be that way, and so forth and so on. So few of them, not enough of them, are being supported by family for the choices that they make about their sexuality
Right.
and who they are.
And then that leads to, and a lot of people down them because a lot of young people, they turn to the life of sex workers. But
Yes,
that's how they're surviving. It's not, and people have this false belief that everybody's into sex work. They're doing it because they enjoy doing it. Some of them people, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them people are doing it because that's the only way they know how to survive.
survival sex. Yes.
Right. Thank you. SS, survival, not Social Security, survival sex. Okay, we're up SS, survival sex. Yeah, we have some new people in the room. Hello, my sister Latanya. Hello, Zenobia. You remember Zenobia? She's in the room. Reverend J.
Okay.
And what did and Meech said, and we never fully understand our relationships with having a intersection of spirit and sex.
Okay, when having spirit and sex,
Right,
if that they stop trying to separate them. They're
right.
all in one. If you feel if your if your spirit tells you who you are, and you have a belief in something higher than yourself,
Say that. Say that.
if you're believing in something higher than yourself and believing in yourself, then your sexuality is gonna, it's gonna show that. you know
Right.
you your sexuality is, if you're dating, you're not gonna jump into bed with every Tom, Dick, or Thomasina. You know, you're gonna. I mean, everybody might not like it. They might call you, "Oh, you're corny. You're this, that, and
Right.
the other." But if you're spiritually sound, it will show in how you present yourself and your sexuality.
Right. Right.
Like, a person can be a sexual person. Oh, look at that sexy person. That's somebody, sometimes when you say, look at that sexy person, that's a person that's comfortable with their sexuality.
Right. Right. Right.
That's
Right.
that's a person that's comfortable with their body, the way they are, and that comes from some type of spiritual strength,
Right.
some
Right.
type of spiritual encouragement,
Right.
and it
Right.
exudes
Right.
in the way they present themselves sexually.
But see, and that's the good point that a lot of people try to do. And you made the good point tonight is stop spending so much time trying to separate the two because the two are intertwined no matter how you look at it.
Exactly.
And I think that's what a lot of us have been doing for so long, try to put as sexuality over here and as spirituality over here and all at the same time they're supposed to be here because actually one it's like on shopping on. You need
Right.
one to make the
I
other.
mean, our sexuality is a part of us.
Right, right,
We
right.
can't we can't get rid of it. We were born sexual beings.
Somebody asked you the question, man, do you think that the familiar spirit doctrine is true or false? I never heard of it before. Do you know what it is?
I am not familiar with that.
But
If
what
they
we'll do is we'll research it and we'll get back to you because we most definitely don't want you to leave here without answers. But we're gonna look into it and figure out what it is, and we'll get back to
familiar
you, my
spirit
friend.
doctrine, yeah, I'm not. I can't begin to answer that. I'm not that familiar with it.
Okay,
Otherwise, I don't know.
right. My stop. How do we teach the lessons of removing the stigma? Here we go of slavery and male rape because many of the religious teachings are imbued with the residue.
Okay, when you slavery and male rape, okay, are we talking about male to male rape?
Yeah, because
Okay,
that's something that a lot of people never knew that during the slavery days, the way that some of the masters will belittle the men and take away their manhood was to rape them in front of the women and children.
Absolutely. But also understand that was not just slavery.
Right.
That
Right.
happened during time of war
Right.
to emasculate the prisoners of war.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that happens in any rebellious setting where they're trying to emasculate their prisoners or those who they've taken hostage, or to
Right.
provoke fear, or to, have them ashamed of themselves, and
Right.
so forth
Right.
and so on. So that's not just a in a time of slavery. But the thing is that once we've come out of slavery, we can't blame everything on that. You have to have your own mind and be your own person.
So what I
You
mean,
know?
what I mean, I guess it's like you mentally need to prepare yourself mentally to get to remove that stigma, and it's
Right,
an
right,
individual, it's an individual thing.
right. Only you can remove that stigma. There's
Right.
no book or secret formula. You have to remove that stigma. You have to get into a place in your life where you are okay with who you are,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and and not understanding that saying, well, so even doing and the biggest shame, of course, in our society comes with, at a time where it was illegal for men to have sex with men. They called it sodomy. You get arrested
Right.
for it. you
Right.
know
Right.
um Women haven't intentionally been on the DL, but they never thought of women as having sex with women.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, they were school teachers living together, or a group of women living together who were old maids, and so forth and so on. So that was never, no rule was created to make that a shameful act, except
Right.
except as we got into more modern times. And when I say modern times, from the 40s, 50s on up, um, then they started to look at women having sex with women, or romantic relationships with women, because you have had women who have lived as men all their lives.
Right. And especially
And
back during the Harlem Renaissance.
yes,
A
yes,
lot of the band leaders, and I can remember like one of my favorite people in the whole wide world is Barbara Jordan, and mostly
yeah,
her whole political life, she had to keep it a secret that she had a lover.
that's right. Didn't find out until the end.
Right, and it did, and the say, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say what the hell I want to say. Excuse me, mom, that's my mouth. Excuse me. Let me put some soap in anyway. But it's
I
really
wasn't
sad.
always saved.
It's really sad that a powerful woman like her could only be her true self when she was home. And I understand that because of where she was. And during that time, black women holding positions like that, they were always looking for a reason to knock you down.
Try to separate sexuality. Yes, I'm reading this.
Right.
I think plenty of queer Christians end up broken because we try to separate our sexuality from our religious selves, and that's exactly correct.
See?
That's correctly correct. Even with my bad eyes, I do see that a little, but
Well, I'm glad now I ain't got, well, mine, you need to put on your good glasses, honey, because I got on my good push-up bra, so you gotta put on your good glasses. Okay, you can read that part, what the young man is trying to define. He say the familiar spirit doctrine is basically that homosexuality is a spirit. Do you think that it's true or false? It's false.
it's false.
Excuse
No,
me, that's what I said, but
it's
Jack, it's
it's
false.
a spirit within a human being. It's a spirit, but there's no such thing as a human sexuality spirit.
Right,
At least
right,
that's my thought.
right, right. Because
As a human sexuality spirit, we're
because
not spirit. We're not possessed.
right, because and see, that's what people need to realize when you say spirit, you're talking about, because you have to realize that we are all sexual beings, man and animal alike.
Native Americans celebrated same-sex loving people.
Are you serious?
Native Americans they called them twin-spirited.
Right, because I know some of the Asian people, some of the Asian cultures, they
That's right.
they celebrate them as well.
Right. Native Americans think that same-sex loving people are they regard them in high esteem.
All
They
right. See
call
that? You know what?
they call them they call them twin spirited. They because they think now that that homosexuality is a spirit. It's not exactly what they Native Americans had in mind. Of I don't think that's how they would word that, but they
Right.
thought they were special people.
Right. I'm
They
supposed to
thought that
believe me.
spiritually they were special people because they
Right.
were twin spirit. They had a male and female spirit within them.
Right. And here's a compliment to you, Mom. My little brother said you are a very intellectual thinker. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. Well, you know, honey, let me tell you something. Mother know how to get them out, honey. Trust me. It's not always what you know, it's who you know. Hey, girl.
Thank you, thank you.
Big Meech.
Yeah.
There you go. They're go. You can read it. Big Meech. I mean, Demetrius. Just
Okay,
so you
there's
know
a
that.
new teaching that the spirit of homosexuality is a seedling from the spirit of Jezebel.
Oh, girl.
How do we combat that? You combat it with facts, but especially for those who are living a single life and or in the adult entertainment industry. You combat that. You can only combat it with facts, you know.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, or who's it? What is a Jezebel? Is it just does it just pertain to women, or can a man be a Jezebel, or
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know what? The only way you can combat it with facts. Um, I tell people, you know, they take these little two lines from the Bible that, you know, man should not lie with man. Man should not lie with man because the Israelites just came out um, of a uh, pandemic. We would might call it a pandemic, but they just came out of being held hostage. They lost
Right.
a lot of people. They had a lot of people die, and they had to rebuild their population. So
Right.
man should not lie with man until we build up our population. They didn't say it was wrong.
Right.
They didn't
Right.
say it was.
Right.
They didn't say it was homosexuality, but they had to build their population.
Right.
Man shall not lie with man because we need to make some babies.
Right. We need to replenish the earth because if man
So
keep on laying with man, it ain't gonna be nobody here but men.
right. So know you have to read the whole story. You have to get the facts. When they
Right.
people take out
Right.
these little tidbits from the Bible or you know things that people have said, you know, in the adult and now to address the piece about the
Jezebel.
adult, yeah, Jezebel and the adult entertainment film. You know, people who work in adult entertainment, they really have to be okay with their own sexuality, with
Yeah.
their own
Yeah.
selves as a sexual being.
Yeah.
They really have to be okay and to keep their spirituality as well.
Right.
You know,
Right.
whatever they, you know, whatever their beliefs might be, but they really have to be. You can't be a pansy and
Right.
work in the adult you know, you can't question your spirituality, no matter what anybody else might say. Well, how could they be spiritual? They're doing all that sinful work. What is a sin? Are there levels of sin? Is one sin worse than the other? A sin is a sin. So, anyway, but that's just my thought. Um, okay, and two spirited for those who are trans. Um, yes, I think with when you say twin spirited for those who are trans, I think that's an individual thing because, for example, if a transgendered male decides, not decides, but a transgender male becomes female, um, it's you know it becomes a female spirit. They're not always twin spirited. They become a female spirited person. So and vice versa. If a female trans becomes a male, they become a male spirited person. So I don't know if because they're very focused, because they're very um, purposeful about who they are, about who they are. It's you know I would have to, you know, that just would be my opinion on that. It doesn't necessarily make it true, but it just says what it is. They purposely become a female spirited person, or they purposely become a male spirited person. I can't hear you, Helena.
Right. That I'm still working on that part of mine. Don't be
Okay,
getting loud on me in
I'll
front
let
of
you. I'll
company.
keep you. I'll let you know.
Don't get loud on me in front of company. You know we don't. You know I'm sensitive. I got on a
No,
whole
I just
dress.
said I couldn't hear you, honey. Calm down.
Okay. You know I'm sensitive. but my thing is, my question is, um, and this is just my
Wait a minute,
train
did
of
you hear
thought.
my reply that I gave about the transpirited
Oh
trans?
yeah. I
Okay.
see. You couldn't hear me, but I could hear you.
Okay.
See my and you know even with trans because you know I think when they get to that point that they are mentally ready to be that female and or that male, they become that sexual being.
Yes.
I mean, I think until they fully engulf that, until they fully accept that, some of them do have twin spirits. But once they fully accept it and they're living their life as that woman that they are, the majority of them have the feminine female spirit.
They would have to in order to continue to live that life.
Right. Oh, here go a good question for you, mine. I'm gonna let you read it because Meech be giving out books. Do you hear me? You know, I think he has 3 books too.
Okay. Why doesn't the church teach about temple rituals from when man should not lie with men as with women, since that teaching is half-assed due to the pregnancy ritual of the temple prostitutes who were there for procreation purposes? Okay, why doesn't the church teach about temple? It all depends on the church, and it all depends on the leader of the church. They're
Right.
not going to, it's just like the King James Version Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the King James Version Bible because King James created or made that Bible according to his rules to keep people under his rule, to keep
Right.
people, um, to keep people under their rules. In the King James time, you had to get permission from the FUCK, fornication under the consent of the king. You had to get permission to have sex. FUCK, fornication under the consent of the king.
Was
That's
allowed.
how the King James Version Bible came. So anything in the King James Version Bible is going to have put fear into, any type of sin outside of marriage is a any type of fornication outside of marriage is a sin, and so forth and so on. He's going to kind of interpret the Bible for his ruling.
Right.
But when you come into um, the what is it, the new NIV version?
Mm-hmm.
When you come into the NIV version and you have the Message Bible, you kind of get a clearer picture of what
Mm-hmm.
that verse is of what that verse is saying. I don't know if I've answered the question, but it all goes back to the leader of the church,
Right. Right.
what type of teachings they give, what type of control they want over their congregation sometimes
Yeah, because
as to
I mean,
as to what they teach and what they don't teach.
yeah, because some heads of churches they make it a point to always preach on homosexuality, and you know some preachers just won't preach on certain things.
Exactly.
Then your next question, mine. What do you think about androgynous people?
They're people as well as any other people. I mean,
Then
it's like anything else. What we don't understand, we don't, we combat against, or we might go against, or we might speak negatively of. If you don't understand it, you're
yeah,
not, yeah, you're not. They're people too. We're all people. What our beliefs is, or how we live our lives. What do you think about bald headed people? You know.
I think you're sexy, young lady. Everybody can't wear their hair like that, honey. But how long you been wearing your hair like that, honey?
Oh God, about 50, almost 20 years now. 15 years since I've been away. Well,
You've
not
been
since I've been away from, but Baltimore. But Yeah, it's
you
been
was doing
almost
it you was doing it before it became fashionable.
absolutely, absolutely. So it's how that person feels about themselves. If that's how they feel as though they are, um, try to not make excuses as little as possible. Well, I'm this way because you don't explain why you're the way you are. You
Right,
are who
right,
you are.
right.
Take it or leave it.
Be like I've learned here since I became a part of the Nighthawk Network. I've learned to be unapologetic about who I am. I am who I am.
Exactly.
You know. Next question, Ma. I was taught by my pastor, man should not lay with man. Actually refers to male rape. I personally prefer the interpretation, but the Bible is an
Enigma.
enigma.
hmm Um, actually refers to male rape. Any type of man shall not ride with man if they're raping them. No,
Right, 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 right,
or if they're taking them against their will, or if it's not a mutual agreement to have sex with someone. Um, and man should not mind actually refers to male rape. If you have to kind of read well, I say when you read the Bible, read the verse like two verses before you read the verse and two verses after to get the
right,
full meaning
right,
of the verse.
right, right.
I mean, there are instances in the Bible where a man would give up his daughter before he would give up a guest in his house.
Wow. I'm glad. You know what? God knew what He was doing
So
because you know what, honey? God knew it wasn't wise for me to be born in slavery days because I probably would have walked up to the master and said, "You see that tree right there? By the time I get 18, I'll be hanging from that motherfucker." No shit. So His
yeah.
timing for
So you
us.
have to read, where it says man shall not lie with man. You know what? The bottom line is this: read it and understand it for yourself. Not what your pastor says, not
Come
what your
on, right
grandma
there.
says,
That part.
not what your
That part.
mama says or your
That part.
granddaddy says.
That part.
Read it and understand it for yourself. That's what
And
I
it's
tell people. They say, "Well, how can, well, how should I pray?" There's no real way of praying it. Well, what about the Bible? You have to read it and understand it for yourself because that's the only way that you can influx that Bible into your everyday living. You have to understand it for yourself, not what somebody else said or what they think. Well, my pastor said this. Well, my mama said this. Well, my grandfather said this. You have to read it and understand it for yourself. If that's not how you have interpreted that, then what your pastor says, no, and no disregard or disrespect for your pastor by any means, because people believe what they believe, and that's it. I believe what I believe. You believe what you believe. So there can be no absolute, is what I'm
right,
saying. There is no
right,
absolute, but try to find out the facts of something before you take you know, anybody's word. Well, the
right,
Bible says, because
right,
those are
right.
famous last words. People have been saying that for centuries. The Bible
Honey,
says,
honey, I've heard that so many times when I came out. Well, the Bible says. I say, the Bible also say that you shouldn't lie still. Girl, you stole yesterday. Don't come to me with and people and like a good point that you made is people need to realize this walk with their higher being is their own personal walk.
that's right.
You may not even get the same interpretation that I get from the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one that endureth until the end. My interpretation that I'm going to get from that is going to apply to me and my walk and my relationship with my God.
Exactly. Exactly. Know it for yourself,
Yourself.
not what
And
somebody else said. That's how, you get into so many of those arguments and fights and whatnot. Well, Shaquiqua said this about you. So I was just letting somebody always bringing a bone.
yeah,
But,
yeah,
and it's the same thing with that. So you really have to know it for you now. And again, it's no disrespect for any spiritual leader or religious leader, but you have to know it for yourself and be okay with it.
right.
You
And
know,
again, everybody, this is my spiritual mother, Reverend Jerry. I'm so used to calling you Jerry Lee, but it's Jerry Mitchell Lee. I have to be politically correct since I got on my good push-up bra.
well, I mean, I've been Jerry Lee all my life. People used to say, Jerry Lee, what's your last name? Lee.
And see, that's why it's so hard for me, even down to my son Merrick. I told him, I'm never disrespectful to you, but you have to realize I've known you longer as Meredith than I knew Merrick. So if I do it, I'm not
Right.
being
Yeah. Yeah.
disrespectful. Right. So it's even hard for me. I'm so used to calling you Reverend Jerry Lee. So that middle part, I'm not being disrespected.
And that's fine. Jerry
Right.
Lee is fine. Jerry Lee
I'm
is
not.
fine. Just
And
don't call me late for dinner.
right. Here's a good one for you. Rev.
Liberation theology. Is it safe to say that it includes sexual liberation as well? Absolutely. Absolutely. Liberation theology is nothing new. It's just something new we've discovered,
Mm-hmm.
or come upon, or read about, or become knowledgeable about. Um, now, what sexual liberation is, that can be interpreted on an individual basis as well. Sexual liberation does not mean that you hop into bed with everybody.
Right.
Sexual liberation means that you are that you are liberated from stereotypes of your sexuality.
Right.
That's what it
Right.
means.
That
Yeah,
part right
that's
there.
the context of it. That's the
Right.
context of it, um, that you are liberated, that you're liberating your sexuality from the norm, quote unquote, or what people think.
Right.
Well, if you're gay, you're this way. If you're straight,
Right.
you're this way.
Right.
If you're,
Right.
if you're a guy, you're this way. If you're a girl, this way. So it liberation theology is what you are. How you express yourself. Again, it does not mean that you are, a bed hopper, or
Right.
just, or having sex. I mean, you have to, okay, if you ask this question, are prostitutes sexually liberated?
Ooh, Audrey.
Are prostitutes sexually liberated? What about their sexuality?
Right. 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 See,
What
people
is
just
what is their what is their sexuality built on, or what is it ingrained at that point in time if they're a prostitute or a sex worker?
right. Right. I mean, so that means that while people go look at them like that they don't have sexuality because they're a prostitute or a sex worker.
Right? Or if it's survival sex, does that mean they have there's no spiritual being with them?
Right. Right. Oh my God, that is hot. This is so hot. Okay, there you go. We got a devil advocates question here. You know,
Uh-oh,
we always
watch
gotta
out
have
now.
one. You know, we always gotta have one.
Okay. Since we have so many people who use the Bible to justify foolishness and evil thinking, how do we combat those who can justify uh, pedophilia and bestiality and other perversions they love to make consequent, uh, to make congruent with homosexuality? Those two things have nothing to do with homosexuality.
Nothing
It's
at
it's
all.
it's having your you combat it by having your information, by knowing that has nothing to do with homosexuality.
It's almost like
That has to do with mental, I won't say imbalance, but some type of form of, just like a sociopath. A sociopath does not think anything's wrong with them.
right.
That
Right.
that the world should be thinking like them. That they should be that. But yet they have no real remorse for anything or anything like that. So pedophilia and those things, that's the way to combat it is to know and to understand that it has nothing to do with homosexuality
Thank you.
at
Thank
all.
you. Clarity is our friend, children.
Right.
I'm so glad that I have my spiritual
I
mom
mean,
here.
even in biblical times, children were off limits.
Right. Right.
Even in biblical times, children were off limits. But let me pose this question. You heard the term armor bearer?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you know what an armor bearer originated from?
No, but I'm ready for the knowledge.
Okay. An armor bearer in biblical times were young boys. When I say young boys, teenage boys, who were sent into the battlefield with the men to satisfy them sexually because they were on the battlefield for so long away from their women.
Okay. Well, y'all, listen to me, honey. Listen to mother, honey. This is a good
And
show.
you can look that up. You can look it
Y'all
up.
can
You can research it, and you can know it for yourself. That's what armor
y'all should have
bearers did in
y'all should have
biblical times.
pencil and paper ready, because honey, we got information for you on this evening, honey. Let's see what the next question is. Are people that live in I can't even pronounce that word.
Let's see. People that live in polyamorous world, sexual, are people that live in sexual liberated, or are they just cheating? Otherwise, people who have more than one partner, who believe
Right.
that it's okay to have more than what. There's just like some religions that believe that in the Islamic religion, in the ancient Islamic religion, you could have as many wives as you could take care of.
Oh wow. Ooh. Well, some of the
Um,
people I know can barely
so
take care of one, so I
when
wouldn't
we when
advise
we
them.
when we when we bring that, to the United States and saying that I have to move around for a minute. When we bring that to the United States, saying that oh, they have more than, you have to be able to take care of them, and that's the part they don't get. They could have as many wives as they wanted, but you have to be able to take care of them.
Right,
How
right.
about that?
Me say I used to say that I'm not gay. I'm sexually liberated. Don't get mad at me because God gave me options to sit down or stand up when I pee. Ah,
Well,
I
okay.
know. Oh, Jesus have mercy. Meech, I love you. I love you. I love you. But yeah, and see, and even down to the little boys, even when back in the Bible days, when some men became sexually frustrated, they took their frustrations out on the armor bearers. They didn't take it out on their wives.
Well, no, because they were in the battlefield. The wives weren't anywhere around.
Right, right, right.
And that was the
And
whole that
people
was the
don't.
whole purpose of having an armor bearer, to carry their armor and to take care of them sexually till they got home to their wives.
Well, Lord have, and the wives knew about it, so it wasn't like nobody was cheating, honey.
No, it was they didn't even think of it as cheating.
Right. It was the norm. I mean, I guess the wife was like, "Well, girl, I mean, honey, you just go on to war for 3 days, 3 months, 3 years, honey. I'm gonna be fine, honey. You won't be climbing on my back." Ah, okay. I gotta always. The Romans sent boys
Never,
off to
you'll
battle.
never kill me.
No, 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 honey. First of all, I ain't going to battle. I can't do it. So,
But also um you had men who lived in catered to the queens and the princess and the women who were castrated.
and then they had to worry about them being
And they felt as though when they castrate them, they didn't have to worry about them getting involved with their women, or having sex or anything with their women, because they were castrated. And
so
those are the ones that took care of the women.
did they. I mean, so they purposely castrated them so they could take care of the women.
Exactly. So
Ooh,
there wouldn't be any threat.
well, honey, let me tell you something, honey. God, give me the threat, honey, because oh no, I can't. That's
Because
not
they would threat. Oh God, I chalk it up to age. I'm trying to think of. There's a term for them. There's a term that they have for them.
what was they called, eunuchs?
Yes, there you go. Thank you so much. See there, just that quick. That's what a eunuch was. It
Oh
was a
wow,
castrated male who took care of the women without the men being threatened.
oh wow. But I could just imagine them men. My mind just goes them being castrated. I guess they could be. I guess they could be seriously sexually frustrated.
Okay, you have what is it? Polyamory and polygamy are two different things. That's correct.
Yeah,
Polygamy, you're right, is being actually married to more than one person at the same time.
right.
Yeah.
And
So
and and,
one involves marriage and one does not. While the other involves more than one partner at one time. Not being married to them.
right, right,
You're
right.
absolutely right. Thank you for that.
Right. I'm enjoying this. Everybody, look, we're gonna take a little break. All of you, we're gonna take a commercial break. I want all of you guys to come up with your answers that you want for again. Um, my very special guest this evening, my spiritual mother, Reverend Jerry Mitchell Lee. I'm gonna be politically correct. You know, I'm not politically correct that often, but I'm politically correct at this particular point in time. So we're gonna go on a commercial, y'all, and we will be right back. I would say 2 and 2, but I don't know if the commercials are 2 minutes long or not. Okay, y'all, here we go. Commercial.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meech.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech.
Darling.
And we are back, honey. We are back. Again, I thank you all for joining me this evening for Hey Bitches Live. I'm your host, the hostess with the
Okay,
most.
I'm back.
Let's say our guest for the evening, the Reverend Jerry Lee. See, I said it again. I was politically correct before we left. Miss Nicole said that, and right, and if the first wife is not, if not in agreement, there are no other wives unless he gives the first wife a divorce. Yeah, yes, but all of them aren't like that. Some of them that do that. It's you don't even have an option to choose if you want your husband to take on a second or third or fourth wife, because their mindset is that the man is is in charge, and if he wants 10 wives, then you have no choice but to accept how many wives he wants. But I know in Islam that the first wife has control over if the man is allowed to take on a second wife, which I'm cool with. And Eric, my mom is going to answer this question for you right here. Where did Reverend Mother do her studies in theology? Well, go ahead, say it again, Mom.
Okay. I did my studies at Newark School of Theology. That's where I started out at. And then I studied at Howard University School of Theology, Saturday classes. And I took various certification classes in chaplaincy and just grief counseling and different things like that.
Well, Howard School of Theology is like a real popular school. I've seen a lot of people pass through that. I could imagine. Can you name me some of their alumni who went to
I ain't gonna tell no story.
Well, one, Elder J.B. Washington.
Yeah, and
Reverend Anthony McCarthy,
and Pastor Akusa from the DC Church.
Okay.
And whatnot. Trying to think of some others. It's like, yeah, I'm a lifelong student, so I have to really remember and think of the different places where I've studied. But those were the main places. And Howard School of Theology, they had, when I was in Baltimore, they had Saturday classes.
Okay.
And you could go on Saturdays. You go all day Saturdays, and you get different certificates in theology. And so, you get certified, liberation theology, pastoral counseling.
Okay.
So I've had a number of things. Plus, my background is in mental wellness, mental health counseling.
Right. And
so
then,
that has helped me out quite a bit in pastoral counseling and in serving.
We're actually going to bring you back again for another show, and that show we're going to basically be talking about the different levels of mental health, because
absolutely. Real important.
And like you said, at this particular point in time, we really need to take time and pay because of this pandemic. Our mental psyche is very important, and we have to pay very close attention to it, because if we don't, we'll fall into the trap of doing things. Come on here, somebody. Y'all know Mother got a little knowledge every once in a while. We'll fall into the trap of overeating. We'll fall into the trap of doing things because of where we at, and we think we're stagnant. But what I'm saying is your mental health is important, so you have to keep you will most definitely have to keep your mental psyche intact.
Exactly. Exactly. It's, and your spirituality does play a part in that. We
Yes.
did a program, oh, it's been years now, but we did an all-day mental health seminar um, about spirituality and where it fits into your mental wellness.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and people are, people who have mental health challenges, they say they're hearing voices and whatnot. And
Right.
part of the discussion was centered around, okay, the voices they are hearing, does that mean they're not hearing from their spiritual world? Does that mean that they don't have some type of connection with God and this is how they connect?
Right.
By
Right.
hearing the voices, and then you have some who are hearing voices that tell them negative things as well, that really are, hearing the voices. So it's yeah, like you said, it's a whole nother show.
Yeah. Yeah. There go a question for you, mine.
Okay, it has been taught that women were only used for property, procreation purposes, and payments of sexual favors during, bus- during business deals, during Roman, Greek, and slavery times. Is there any reason why homosexuality was frowned upon during those times as men showed and expressed their love for um, and to one another in all forms? Okay. Okay. Is there any reason why homosexuality? First of all, homosexuality wasn't even a word in biblical times. The word homosexuality didn't even come into the Bible until the 1940s when they did revisions of the Bible. So the word homosexuality wasn't even formed in those days. So the actions might have been what people defined as being homosexual, but the word itself and they hadn't, that was not a definition, I should
Right.
say, in that particular point in time. But yes, women, I mean, even today, women are still being sold for business purposes, for payment and so on. It's called human trafficking.
Wow.
It's called
Wow.
human trafficking. So even today, that is still, that is still in effect. We're still fighting human trafficking. We're still
Right.
fighting it.
Right.
So it's not, it was not just in biblical times, but even today, they tell women who make it to the top, or make progress in the business, well, she must have slept her way up there.
Right.
And
Right.
so they're
I
still right, they're still doing it today. And please understand that, and this is not, this is no way of form, this is just fact. The Bible was written by men.
right. Right. Just like
That's a fact. It has nothing to do with, male hating or anything like that. The Bible was written by men.
and when even you say that it's going on today, then that was one of the reasons why the Me Too movement got started.
Right.
Because women felt as though that they could only get good jobs in Hollywood is if they laid with the producers, blah 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 blah
Exactly.
blah. So,
Exactly.
so yeah,
Exactly.
this has been going on way
Since
way
the
before.
beginning of time.
Yeah, way
Since the
before any
beginning
of
of time.
y'all know how I am. This was going on way before any of us was in Nut City. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Listen to them. This has been going. It's not, just like people used to always say. There's nothing new under the sun.
Anything, any political problems, any political rebellions, any religious rebellions that are going on now, they've been going on since biblical times. At
Right,
one point in time, we talk about a drug war. At one point in time, drugs were a form of currency
right.
in the United States.
Oh wow.
Drugs were a form of currency coming across from China and other countries. Drug was a form of currency. So this drug war is nothing new. Selling of women as property is nothing new. Well, I have, these top executives. Oh yeah, we're having a party. We're gonna have some girls there. They pay, hire, bring girls in, bring women in for. So it's going on. But again, it's formalized, as human trafficking.
And that
especially with our young people. Let me just, and I just want to finish this sentence with it, especially our young people. I'm very passionate about that because our runaways, they run away to different places and they are open, you know, it's open season on runaways. And to use it as human, to use as human trafficking because they know they're vulnerable, and so many of them unfortunately wind up in that predicament.
and the sad thing about it is a lot of them, a lot, not as many of them get rescued as we think they do.
Exactly.
So they end up in that, and these guys and these women or whoever, they are whispering them sweet nothings and telling them, oh, you're so beautiful and blah 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 blah. And then once they, because they're already not mentally together, so they take advantage of them. And then the next thing
Well,
you know,
and
they
it's not
become
so much
sexual.
mentally not together, but um, insecure.
Right, right. They work on their insecurities. They work on their which is a big thing. And then it's like it's still alive and well, but it's another thing in our society that they make it like taboo and we don't want to talk about it. But I'm trying to tell you, honey, it needs to be talked about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I want y'all to know, when we say sex trafficking, it's not just females that they're getting. Listen to what I'm telling you. It's just as many little boys and males out there caught up in that same thing as it is females.
And again, we get back to that spirituality piece because this kind of word, this kind of talk needs to come from over the pulpit.
Come on, say that.
It needs to come from over the pulpit. It needs to come from our spiritual leaders, from the pulpit, from the podium, from wherever they talk to. But it needs to come from about domestic violence, about
Yes.
human trafficking, about the whole 9 yards. But it needs to come from across the board. Some of these, they just not need to stop being prudes. That's what I call them, prudes. I
Right.
taught a class on spirituality and sexuality at Princeton University.
Oh
And
wow.
the classes the students consisted of those going through theology school, or those who were already ordained as ministers and whatnot. But anyway, they were going through theological training.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, it was like when I said spirituality and sexuality, first of all, it was out of curiosity that I know that they came into the class.
Right.
But when I
Right.
started being upfront and blunt with them about about their sexuality, how many of you are comfortable with your sexuality? Everybody's looking around at each other like they're waiting for somebody to answer. They were not comfortable with their own sexuality. So if a church leader is not comfortable
Come
with
on.
their own sexuality,
Come on.
how are they going to give that to the congregants? And
That's why.
the reason I know this is because we still have teen pregnancy in the congregation. We
Mhm.
still have young girls getting pregnant because nobody's willing to sit down and talk with them about being comfortable in their sexuality.
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. And that right there. Listen, children, listen to mother, because mother be telling you the sugar, the honey, and the iced tea. Listen there, honey. Like she said, it needs a lot of these things need to begin to come from the pulpit. But the point that she made is that when when you're not comfortable with your sexuality, how can you express the meaning and thoughts and feeling of sexuality and you're not even comfortable with your own?
Exactly.
Well, we know that we go the Nighthawk Network, when we do our gathering after all this is over, we might have to fly you in so you can do this spiel again on spirituality and sexuality, because it's something that's needed. Being sexual beings is a part of who we are, and I'm so tired of
Exactly.
people always trying to make us think that we are deviants and we are this and we are that because we have sex. What are you talking
Mm-mm. And if you don't believe that, whenever you get a chance, or if you run into a person who has deprive themselves sexually.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole different demeanor about them. There's a whole different aura about a person who is not saying that everybody has to be sexually active, okay? I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying who intentionally deprive, well, I'm not going to have sex, this, that, and the other because, I'm single. Or you have widows many times that people lose their partners and they become inactive sexually.
Right.
So but after a while, it takes its toll because you're once again you're in that big divide of sexuality and spirituality.
Right.
I'm not supposed to feel sexual because I lost my partner 3 years ago.
And I think that's something that we have um learned from generation to generations with grandmothers, grandmothers and grandfathers who've been married to somebody for 30, 40, 50 years. They're not
Sure.
trying, they're like, well, my sexual part of me died
It's
when
done. Yeah.
my wife died because then, a lot of them feel as though even though their significant other is gone on, they still mentally think that their life was meant to be with this one person. And that one person is
Right.
gone, there's no need for that part of
Exactly.
their life. Yeah.
Exactly. People do not understand we are all sexual beings. It does not matter what happens in your life. If you lose a partner, if a partner passes away, you are that doesn't change who you are. You are
No, it
still a
doesn't.
sexual human being. Now, whether you choose to masturbate or whether you choose, whatever your sexuality, takes form of,
Right.
you
Right.
are still
Right.
a sexual being, and there's no
Right.
shame in it. There's
Right.
no shame in it.
And to be a sexual being does not always mean that you have to have penetration sex. That's not what
No,
that means.
no.
Listen to what I'm telling you. A sexual being, that you are not classified as a sexual being just because you have penetration sex. That's
Nope.
not true, buddy. That's not true. Listen to mother.
It's called intimacy.
Right. And a lot of people don't even know what that is anymore. And we were talking about this the other night. Everybody equates intimacy to penetration sex, but that's not. It is so much more to intimacy than penetration sex.
Absolutely.
And those are things that we need to talk about it. Stop letting all this taboo stuff control us and hinder us as being who we are.
Exactly. Again, we will be sexual beings until we are 6 feet under. How you live within that sexuality is up to you.
Well, like I told y'all, all of my wonderful people, I am a sexual being, honey. But let me tell you something. Once I've gotten into being unapologetic about who I am, then that gave me way to be who I was sexually,
Yeah.
and not have any regrets for it. I'm fine with it. People say, the older you get, your sex drive go down. Well, honey, I guess I must be different because the older I get, the more mine rise up. So, girl, different strokes. And I say that because when I was coming up, when I was younger, even when I came into the life, I wasn't really, really a sexual being because I didn't know anything about that. So I tell a lot of young kids, kids that are 30, 35, well, baby, more than likely, you probably had sex more than me because you probably been out longer than me. I mean, they look at me, well, you 55, but girl, I wasn't, I did the wife and the 3 children afterwards. Then that's when I came out. So me coming out, I was like, whew, late
And
20.
also, a reality is this: how we talk about our spirituality and our sexuality. We have people in congregations, we have people in general that cannot picture their pastor or their bishop or their minister being sexually active.
But they have children.
It doesn't matter. They
Right.
cannot perceive of, ooh, no, not my pastor.
Yeah, I mean, you go, child. Are you
But
in favor?
it's a reality. It's a reality, and that's one as an assistant pastor, as a reverend, that's one of the, I won't say pressures that I deal with, but one of the uh, misinformation that I deal with, that people do not, oh, pastor, oh no, not my pastor, oh no, don't talk about that about her.
She is a human being and she has a spiritual side.
And
Now,
again, we go back to the thing, we are all sexual
right.
beings.
My brother
Okay.
asked you the question: are you in favor of studying other versions of the Bible as opposed to the King James version?
Are you? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, she just told us
Number
earlier.
number one, that we don't speak in these and thous and days.
No, we don't. But I'm here today.
Okay.
Now,
So you need to find a version of the Bible that you can know it, that you can understand it for yourself. Absolutely not. I agree totally to read more than the King James version.
oh,
The
most
best
definitely.
Bible for interpretation is the Message Bible because that tells you in plain, ordinary English.
Okay, and what is it called? The Message Bible.
Right, the Message Bible.
Okay, well, we getting information here, y'all. You know, we love the information.
But that gives it to you in plain, simple English. Now, the NIV Bible is also a good one, but the Message Bible gives it to you in plain English. If you're new to Bible study, or if you're new to exploring the Bible and as to what it says, Message Bible gives it to you in like we talk.
Right, right. Regular talk, so you can
Right.
understand
The
it.
King James version is thee, thous, and theys. We don't talk like that.
I know. I'd be like, "Yo, what's up?" Yeah, the
So
Bible, man.
we spend so much time interpreting the these and the theys and the thous. We don't know what the Bible is actually saying sometimes.
Right,
So
right, right. And then that's when we get misinterpretations of what we're reading because we don't realize the significance of the days and the
right, that
nows and
that's not what they're saying. And also understanding the times that the Bible was written.
right, right, right.
The Bible was not written in 2020 or 2019,
Mhm.
and it's been through hundreds of translations. So who's to say that the Bible that we're reading, the basic words might be the same?
Mhm. Mhm.
It's just like the person who goes to church every day. Well, God told me. Oh yeah, when did God say that? And what does that happen? Well, what God's voice sound like?
you
When God say that?
better
You know,
stop.
wait a minute. What language does God speak?
You tell me
Did he
because
speak Spanish?
do he speak Korean? Do he speak Japanese? Do he speak
You know, God told me. Okay.
Okay, we emphasize that.
God does not tell. God shows.
Right. Okay. Say that. Say that. Say that.
You
God
know,
does not
God,
tell. God
God,
shows.
God does not tell. God shows you. It may not. Oh, you may not always want to see it. You may not always want to follow it.
We emphasize the deity rather than the human. Folks
Right.
forget that experience is where action lies. Experience is where the testimony lives. I don't
There
I
you
don't
go. There you
I don't
go.
I don't, I don't know too many people who have a testimony without a test. And
Exactly.
and to
And a
me
lot of
that's an
these, yeah,
experience.
and a lot of these spiritual leaders, a lot of these church leaders, these pastors, ministers, whoever, they my people. I love them dearly. But my
Right.
thing is that how do you minister to people if you yourself have not had some type of life experience? And
Right.
it's not saying that you have to be, drugged out or downed out, but you have to have had certain life experiences in order to be able to minister to people.
Yeah.
Because not only that, to feel comfortable in ministering to people, but to be able to relate.
Right. Right. Right.
Nobody's saying you got to go through hard times just to be a pastor, but you
Right.
have to go through something
Right. Right.
to
You
be a
can't. Yeah.
pastor or a spiritual leader. You
Yeah.
know, I
And
work with a lot. My biggest part is working with the homeless and health health and wellness has always been my thing, no matter what. But I'm able to have that compassion and show different ways to help them out of homelessness because I was homeless.
where are you?
I was when I left Baltimore. I was homeless.
I didn't know that, Mom.
I left Baltimore to go to Richmond, and I was homeless. Somebody offered a room, and that's where I lived.
Wow.
And my unemployment had run out. And when I got to Richmond after a while, I finally, first time I'd ever been on food stamps in my life,
Wow.
finally found a job at a gas station so I could have toilet paper and soap. But I still stayed in ministry. We did Bible study. We did Sunday services at the homeless shelters. We did we got donations and we gave out food bags once a month. So it all, it just all the, a testimony is not always a test, but a testimony is what you have learned
Right. Right. I mean,
from the experience.
right. You have
From
you.
exactly.
Your testimony comes from what you go through. This
Right.
is and make me say that the Good News Bible is a good Bible as well. As far as it doesn't have all the
Yes.
thou and thou with it and thou but with
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And all these people say, oh well, and I just use homelessness as an example because the bottom line is this. If you don't have a lease or if you don't have a key, you're homeless.
Right.
If you're
Right.
living on somebody's couch or in somebody else's house that is not yours,
You're
you're
home.
homeless.
That's we actually did a
Technically,
show.
you're homeless. I
We
mean, you
had
have a roof over your head, yes, somebody said, but you're homeless.
yeah. Technically, if you don't have a place of your own, you're considered homeless.
Yeah,
So a lot of people like well. He's not homeless because he stayed there this night, he stayed there that night, but there's no stability, baby. You're homeless.
exactly.
But we also
Exactly.
have to be discerning, as many Bibles are now written with a slant in their translation of words and meanings. And to me that's when you begin to get deeper into your studies. You might want to
Right,
go out and buy yourself a Bible dictionary. You might want to, you have to put yourself into it to the point that it's an ever growing process.
right. And discernment. That's a discernment. Have the discernment. Know
Right, right,
that,
right, right.
yeah.
You can read this one, mommy. This one is long. I leave the long ones to you.
Thank you so much. Let me see. These little bitty words here. Let me see. I gotta get my other glasses on for this one.
Yeah, get your good glasses because I got on my
Yeah, let
dollar
me get
store
my good
glasses.
glasses on for this one. Let me see if I can get this one here. Okay. I love how people forget that there was other civilizations alive at the same time from the Old Testament to the New Testament. So there are so many more stories of people, Hittites, Mesopotamians, and so on. So just think of the other stories that can be told about the Most High during those times. You're absolutely right, because people have become, like church inside the four walls orientated. And this pandemic has taught a lot of churches that church is outside the four walls. You're absolutely right about that, because what I tell people is this: Jesus did not have a church. Jesus
Or didn't.
preached and he went around to different places, different towns, preaching and teaching the word. Jesus didn't have a home church.
Right, right,
He did,
right,
he did
right.
not have a home church, which is why we have so many outlooks, why Jesus gives so many outlooks on different things, because he's been to places where people practice Hinduism. He's been to
Right,
places where people practice other beliefs.
right,
And he's
right.
drawn the positive things from those beliefs and incorporated them in Christianity. But the one thing I tell people is this: when they sort of, talk about this, that, and the other, I said, you do realize that Jesus was not a Christian.
Ooh, that part. My love.
Jesus
Say it
was
again.
not a Christian. Jesus was a Jew. Jesus was in the temple. Now, he went all around teaching the different places, but Jesus was a Jew, not a Christian, not a Muslim, not a Hindu, not a Buddhist. Jesus was a Jew. And
Me said,
people
yeah.
get hung up with the piece that, Jesus is that. He wasn't a Christian, right?
But that's because people are taught and they don't learn for themselves. They need to learn. I mean, just like you said earlier, you cannot just believe that everything that your pastor brings across a pulpit is fact.
But even when you talk about Jesus and God being the Father, God is God. God is the God of Jewish. God is the God of Islam. God is the
Right,
God of
right, right, right.
God is God. God is God.
Here go
So
one for you,
wouldn't
Ma.
it make sense that, Jesus was not a Christian, but we still have the same God? How about that?
Right, right, right. Meech said that's the T-shirt. Jesus did not have a home church. He said we're gonna make that into a T-shirt. Put your glasses back on, mine. Here go another question for you.
Okay. I believe that God is not specifically man or woman. True that. Because God doesn't specify.
Right, right,
God
right.
does not specify who God is. Okay? God is a spirit, and a spirit has no gender. Oh, this is like somebody like from Unity. They must be from Unity. Who wrote this?
My son Israel.
Oh, did he go to Unity?
I think he might have went there a couple of times. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I
Okay.
think when it
He
was
has
back
both.
on Reed
Yeah,
Street.
he has.
I said
Back
when it
on
was
Reed
back
Street.
on Reed Street.
Yeah, he has a feeling of both man. Yeah, God is twin spirited. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then men and women. Let's see. What else are we saying here? And have both estrogen and testosterone. Okay. The women have feelings that are feminine and masculine. Okay. I mean, physiologically, the bottom line is men and women. Women have a certain amount of testosterone and they have estrogen. Men have a certain amount of estrogen and they have testosterone. So you're absolutely right.
Here's my
It's just that
estrogen,
the
honey.
balance. It's just that the balance is different in men and women of the testosterone and the estrogen, but they both have the same.
Here's my estrogen, honey. Look at all of it, honey. And it's glorious. Here's a good question. And Amy say, so why don't the Jews believe in Jesus? Mommy, you take that. I'm going to run.
Why don't the Jews believe in Jesus? I can't answer that. I'm sure there's some type of historical meaning behind, but I'm going to look that up so I have it for you next time. But at this point, I cannot. Why don't Jews believe in Jesus? They do to a certain extent, just like Muslims. They believe in Jesus, but not in the same respect that Christians do. So it might be the same thing with the Jewish religion. They believe in Jesus, but not in the same aspect as we do. They see Muslims see Jesus as a prophet, not as a person to be worshipped. So that's a very interesting question, and I'm going to look that one up.
Guys,
Yeah.
we're gonna take a commercial break, and we'll be back.
Okay, and
We're gonna get to
I'm
these
going to have
questions.
to bid farewell because I have a 6 a.m. prayer call in the morning.
So everybody, thank my spiritual mother for being here. We are gonna invite her back. The next time she come back, I'm gonna have her and Aunt Nikki because we're gonna be talking about mental health and mental wellness and how it is connected to your spirituality.
Okay. Now the last please expound on that so people understand why that is so. Expound on why Jews don't
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying.
why Jews don't mention Jesus. I'm gonna look that up and I'm gonna have an answer for you. When is your next show?
My next show is Monday.
Monday?
Every Monday at 9 o'clock.
Every Monday. So if I don't do anything else, I will get that to you in a text or email or something.
Okay. Okay, guys. Now,
Okay?
when I come, yeah, that's good. When I come back, um, Nikki and Eric come to the room, and we're gonna and everybody, please thank my mother for being here. I thank you so much
Thank you. I so enjoyed it.
for the knowledge,
Thank
and
you for the conversation.
don't forget about the stuff for the commercial.
I won't forget. And
When
don't
you
you forget about the information so I can send my sheet.
I know. I gotta get David. In there. I know. I need.
I'll remind you.
I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it to you as soon as I get off the air. It might not be till 12 o'clock, but I'm gonna send it to you tonight in your inbox.
Okay, great. Thanks a
There it
lot.
is.
Enjoyed everyone. Take care.
Love you, Ma.
Love you too.
Hey, Aunt Nikki.
Hey, Stinker Zink.
What's going on, honey? I know you know I got on this long hair. You know I don't do the long hair thing, honey. But
Well,
anywho,
I actually was telling you that I wanted to come in and one when you wanted to do the part two of this about the mental health thing. But
right.
since mother couldn't oh no y'all, I don't want a camera. I'm in the bed, honey. Shit. Y'all better look at my cartoon. Don't play with me. Since mother didn't wasn't able to answer that, the question that Amy had about is if I guess what she was trying to say, if Jesus was a Jew, why don't they believe in him? This is
right.
the thing. In the Old Testament, it was written that Jesus would arrive in a specific way.
Mm-hmm.
He will come in with this. I can't recall the exact words. Y'all know it, but I can't recall the exact words. But he was to come in a specific manner. Now, although Jesus had some of the qualifications, it wasn't to the letter the way
Right.
that it was written. And Hebrews, because they weren't called Jewish people back then, they were Hebrews.
Right.
Okay. So because it wasn't to those specific, those specifications,
Mm-hmm.
then they did not believe in him as the Messiah. It's not that they don't believe that he exists. And I will go so far to say is, like in Islam, they revere Jesus a lot. So I want to say this to anybody that's listening and swear they know about Islam. Stop walking around talking about Muslim people don't believe in Jesus. I'm gonna need for y'all to stop saying that if I pop one of y'all upside your damn head.
And see, and you know what?
Because if you ever took the time to pick up a book, you illiterate bastards,
That's
Jesus is
because
all up and through the Quran.
like my mother said, my spiritual mother said early, most of us are at an age now that this spiritual walk have to be a person. You need to stop your spiritual walk. You can't have the same spiritual walk that your mother had. That was her walk. You don't
Because
have
that was
the same
his.
spiritual walk that your aunt had. That was her walk. You need to come into being. Come on here, somebody. You know, mother be having things and have your own spiritual walk and study to show yourself approved.
Because we think about it. Remember, Helena, how many times have we over at Dish and Tea, we talked about it, and I've said many times, you can't. Oh, hello, am I still in here?
You still in here, honey?
Okay, I don't know where I'm at though. I'm going off my screen, but as long as y'all can hear me.
I can hear you. I see your lips moving too. Them nice old red lips. You got some big old lips, girl. I'm so glad you my aunt.
Do
Praise the Lord.
oh, yeah, hold on. My camera ain't supposed to be on, first of all. Y'all is
We
being
still we still see the avatar. I mean the what you call that thing?
oh, it's still the avatar. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So what I say all the time is you cannot okay, say me and you, we doing Bible study, right?
Right.
And you read a passage and I read a passage.
Nikki, what happened? My God, she done blanked out on me. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little commercial break. This is getting hot and heavy. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna bring on Nikki back on the way she went. She left me. We're gonna take a little break, okay? And we will be right back. I thank you guys so much for being here tonight. We're not done yet because Aunt Nikki coming back and my Bristol's at work. I wish my sister Big Meech would come up in here and Eric. The invite is out, guys. Come on, cause we ready to get it together. Hey, bitches! Ow. coming. Y'all give me a second. We're gonna play this again, y'all. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm back. I'm bringing my Aunt Nikki back up in here. All right,
Sorry,
Auntie. That's
I was
okay.
trying to come in the living room because y'all know I had to just put Lily ass to sleep.
Right, right. We don't want you to mess with Lily,
No,
honey.
I want to wake that bullshit up. But what I was saying was, just because you hear a message don't mean it's yours. It might
And
sound good in service, but that don't mean it was yours. It's what the pastor is sharing with you of what he got out of it. You understand what I'm saying?
right, right,
Because I guarantee you, if you take those passages home and you sit with them and you read them and let them resonate in your spirit, you are going to get what God wants you to have out of it. Can't nobody tell you what God got for you. Even when we have people who are prophets, and I believe in it. I believe there are many types of prophets.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I'm
think they're
not.
sent to people who sometimes cannot interpret their own stuff,
Right,
or
right,
because they have the gift of empathic. I'm empathic, so I can get around things and feel their emotions and stuff like that.
right,
Sometimes I
right.
might not know exactly what's going on, but I could walk into a room and feel when everything is going on.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You could walk into a room and feel when there's some unbalance going on.
Right. Or I can wake up out my sleep and know that there is something wrong. Like
Right.
there's been so many times when I would back when my daughter, y'all know I love Millions to death, but back when she just wasn't listening, every time I said, I don't think you need to go there.
Right,
Every time I said that, something happened.
right.
You understand? Because I could feel it. Now she listens. If I say, or she'll be looking at me if I don't say nothing. She say, Mom, you don't think I should go? I said, I don't know, something feeling off. She'll stay her ass right in this damn house now.
Right. And people do have that gift, and the issue is that it's not that people don't have that gift, and they fail to realize that when you're blessed with that gift, we're required to just tell you what we are. And see, that was one of the biggest problems I had. I used to get so caught up in telling people what was need to be told to them, and then got caught up in how they responded, and realizing how they
Right.
responded ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right. You give them the message and whatever the hell that's on them.
Hello, come
You
on,
can take
somebody.
it how you gonna take. You know how when you gotta tell somebody, you know how when you gotta tell somebody something, you can take that however the hell you want to take it.
Right.
Hey, H2, what's good?
What's good,
Heard
y'all?
you, big?
Hey, what up, Nikki Boo?
Sitting up here eating this damn piece of candy like I shouldn't be.
I ain't mad at you. I wish I had some doggone Nutter Butters right now.
Ooh.
I wish I had some of them cookies that Tracy had today.
Oh
What
no,
Tracy had?
them not cookies. Those little those little bread toast sticks.
Right, but that's what I call them, cookies, because they taste like cookies. They don't taste like just a
What, the
biscuit.
French toast sticks?
You know those little bread toast sticks? They're kind of like a softer version of croutons almost.
Oh.
I forgot the name of them. They were called. I took a picture of
Yeah,
them.
Look on Tracy's page. You'll see it. Shout out to you, Tracy, if you're checking us out right
I
now.
won't look on Tracy because I feel like that's being selfish, Tracy. I'm about to get on your page and tell you you're being selfish. God damn it! Now I ain't gonna hold y'all. Did y'all see that salad I made earlier?
Yes. I don't know what it is about salad these last few months, but I love salad now.
Well,
And it was so simple.
I've always loved salad.
You supposed to be a virgin. Shut up.
Here
Nasty.
we go. Nasty.
You talk about the Bible in here.
That's
Nasty.
the thing that us virgins eat, honey, is salad.
Oh Lord.
Reverend Mother, could you come back for a few?
Yes, mother.
No, now she's gone. Now I can now and I will tell you guys this. I'm
Well,
very
then
proud.
change your damn banner before we all get struck by lightning.
Girl,
Because the Message Bible ain't delivering that message, sister.
Yeah, cause look, cause then God gonna be like, and y'all two were sitting right there with the shit. So y'all too.
y'all really have to give me my props because I did really, really good.
You did well.
Yes,
That was a
you
good
did.
show. I loved it.
I did
I
good.
love
I
the show.
kept, and that's what I'm thanking God for. Because like I told Eric last night, because we talked for like an hour even after we got offline.
Child was so damn sleepy when we got offline. I didn't know what to do.
And I was
No,
telling
after
him,
I got that grub, I was good for a minute.
and I was telling him that was something that we needed. I enjoyed the interaction. As always, it got heated, and I know that some people, like you said, Nikki, some people who might have wanted to come in a room and they saw that and didn't realize that it was a whole plethora of a whole bunch of things going on.
Right, and you might come in, and because they got the attention span of a gnat,
right,
you don't understand what's going the hell on. So you're like, I don't want to deal with this mess. But it's those are the conversations that need to be had because there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. It's just all different points of views, and people need to understand that.
Because, like Eric said, even when we were getting ready to close out, it was still like 10 people in the room.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know
that was something to be heard. And then y'all see, I think we got some points across to Calvin last night. Like Calvin is a friend of ours. Calvin went to AIU with me, Meech, and Red.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are alumni. Well, I'm an alum back in the school in this master's program, but all of them, me saying to him, use your art to show your wife what it is you feel.
Right.
Because you're talented at this. First of all, let me tell y'all something. Let me give it up to Cal. Is the fucking bomb behind them cameras. You understand? Mm-hmm. If I can listen, any kind of productions that I'm going to do, like our shows and stuff that we doing, me and Cal talk behind the scenes. So he's my DP, honey. He knows how to get them camera angles for your ass. He's amazing at it. So I'm like, use your gift. I know that I used to speak through music. I remember my brother and them used to laugh all the time. He said, don't let her get mad at you because you're going to be in the next song. I swear to God. Oh, baby. And yes, you will be. I'm going to cuss your ass all the way out in the song. You're going to be singing it so much that you don't even know that I'm talking about you until you hear some personal shit that don't nobody know but me and you. But yeah, so it's like, use your gift. And I think that got to him because it was like, hey, you're feeling guilty about some things that you shouldn't be feeling guilty about.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't have to be feeling like I got to prove to them that I'm not that black man. But what if you were?
Right.
What if you were the stand on the front line, pump your fist, you ain't going to kill no more of my brother's black man. You ain't got nothing to feel bad or guilty about when it comes to that. Because whether you are that man or not that man, they're going to treat you like you are anyway.
Pretty much.
It's like I always tell H2, be your unapologetic self. Period.
Amen.
I told my mom when we was before we came on the show, I was like, well, honey, we was on a show last night that was 4 hours long.
4.5.
Yeah.
And I told y'all, I wasn't going to come back in because I was watching from the comments. And I told Meech, even before I said anything to you, first when it was getting heated, I said, Meech, get control of the panel. I said, because I absolutely know what Coach V is trying to get across. But because he's...
Nikki, hold on before you go on. Can we please send some prayers out to Coach V?
Oh, God, yes. I've been praying for him ever since I've seen him.
You on the Nighthawk Network that caught any of that show last night, I've been informed that Coach V is now hospitalized right now, and hopefully he will get better real soon. So prayers out to you, Coach
V. Please send up all the positive and prayers and light that you can.
Absolutely.
He's a very passionate man.
Yeah, but sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to say that right now.
No, I'm saying that because Coach V is so passionate about what he's trying to get across and his way of bringing it about, if somebody wasn't a part of the panel, they may have not known where he was going with that. So while he was trying to show us his experiences to prove what he's talking about, somebody who may not understand that might not have got it.
Mhm.
So I was, but in that same token, when I was in talking just directly to Meech, I was like, this I'm going to sit back on because I feel like, look, Helena wasn't up there last night. Derek was up there. So I said, I'm going to stay back and let them finish talking about this. The only reason why I came back in is because I needed to say that when me said, yeah, we're going to teach the children in the way they should go. And it popped in my head. I said, oh, hell no. Because if we do that, then we doing just what we talked about the other day. All that they will be doing is regurgitating everything that we tried to make them do.
Right.
So we had to think about that part of that too when we say, bring them up in a way that they shall go and they shall never depart. Well, that's not always necessarily true. But how about we bring them up in a way of choice and understanding that there are consequences for some of the shit that you do. Not that you got to follow what I did to the exact letter.
Mm-hmm.
There's some shit that's going to happen to you. And like I said, I'm glad that I was able to experience such a diverse life as a kid, because then it was not hard for me to be okay with my kids not following the same things that I follow. And I told them so long ago, whatever path you choose, as long as you are walking in the light and being the good person that I taught you to be, I don't care which way your spiritualness lies, because that's between you and God. That ain't between me, you, and God. That's between you and God.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so
Right.
I also think that when we say raise them up in the way that they should go, also think that a lot of that is talking about basic, like teach them how to manage money, teach them how to pay bills, teach them how to
Yep.
get a job. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, we cannot teach them everything, because
We can.
one of the best teachers in life is experience.
Experience.
Something
Experience is the teacher.
something you're gonna have to fall on your own ass to find out that shit hurts.
That's why I said.
Right. I mean, I had the same discussion with one of my best friends the other day, and I told her, this generation, they are what I call water is wet children. In other words, they have to see themselves what it is, despite anything we might try to tell them.
Right.
And
you got some who will listen, and some just got the, which grandma say, your hard head make a soft ass.
Mm-hmm.
I said that the other day. You know what my daughter said? She said, woo, my butt's so soft. I said, I know. Her butt so soft because her head was hard as fuck.
Right. And see, as parents and y'all know when we were coming up, you were 70 or 80 when we considered you old. Now we're 50 and 55 and they consider us old.
40.
But look. But how about we look in the mirror over 40 and look younger than they asses? So who's the real oldest? Come on, you little Percocet babies. If y'all don't sit the fuck down somewhere
and drink some water.
Okay.
Like I said last night, sometimes no matter what we do in life, sometimes we always look on the outer realms to find something that we need that's sitting right next to us.
Sitting right in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's always those ones who feel like my 23-year-old, he's that one. I remember when my cousin said he wanted to manage him, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, no, I'll take it back. He said that my son wanted him to manage him. He said, I don't know that much about that stuff. You know way more than me. I said, well, this is what you do. Don't let him know that I'm telling you this stuff, and watch you listen to every fucking thing he said.
Wow.
Because in his mind, Jamal doesn't know how to separate business from me being his mom. Okay. So if I tell him something, he thinks that I'm telling him as a mom. But because I've been in this business so long, if you want to do business, I'm going to do business. And he does not like the fact that I can criticize him.
Uh-huh.
If I tell him in the damn heart, but you send me a song, my son is so fucking talented. If he send me a song that I don't feel like is up to standards, he said, "Mom, how you think about the song?" I said it was trash.
Ooh.
Because, but this is the thing. I've always taught them that if it's not right, I'm not going to coddle you, because if I don't tell you, you're going to get out there and I'm not going to be nobody's yes man. I don't give a shit if it is my kids.
My
If
point
your
is
song
that.
is trash, nigga, and I'm telling you when it's trash.
Yeah.
So our family don't get our feelings hurt about that. I remember one time, I had the studio in my house and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have something on if you're a writer, you get stuff on your mind, you just want to write down.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, if I needed if I woke up in the middle of the night and I was writing in my head, I would run in the studio and just do a scratch of it, right?
Right.
Child, this one time Molly was up. He said, "Oh my God, that sound a mess."
Ooh.
I said, "I don't give a damn. I bet you I remember the words tomorrow when I sing it tomorrow. Think it sound a mess then." But that's the way my whole family is, because we want to be able to be honest with each other. But Jamal has this thing where I think he has that baby syndrome shit, like he's the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants me to be more pampering. But that world is too hard for you, my young black king, for me to pretend to be softer on you than anything, because I need you to be prepared.
Because
I
if you
need
do
you to
that,
be prepared.
then he'll be another one of those people who are going in blind and signing contracts that he don't know shit about.
Exactly.
Mm.
Any of my kids can go in a room and I don't have to be there. And they know when a promoter, a label, or whatever, is bullshitting them from the door.
Right.
I didn't teach my kids about the just music. I taught my kids the music business. From the
Right.
minute they said that that's what they wanted to do, everything I learned, I taught it to them.
Right. Right.
What you're not going to do is gag me or my kids.
Right.
That's
Right.
not going to happen.
Right. Now,
So and it's like that all the way across the board. We have to, Helena, and Meech kept saying it too. You hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
When you said, I gave them the tools. Now, what the fuck they do with it is on them.
Absolutely.
If you use them, you use them. If you don't, you don't. And I was so happy to know that you had said that, because I say that all the damn time.
And I say
I
that
give
because
you
I'm
everything.
tired of people generalizing and say, well, this generation. No, you can say some generation do and some, but don't stop generalizing and putting all.
Yeah, stop doing that to the kids, because they're not all the same.
No,
I told you
they're
one
not.
time we was on the bus down here, and even though Jamal is a total knucklehead, he is the young generation, because even my older kids say, "Man, I don't know what house this fool grew up in. Something wrong with him." But he keeps those basic foundations. We got on the bus. I was sick, so I sat closer to the front. Another lady got on the bus. He got right up so she could sit down. And can you hear me? You all right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. You was fixing your earring.
Yes.
And he got up so she could sit down. That hair looks good, baby.
First time I've ever worn it.
I love it. He got up so she could sit down, and she said, "Oh, thank you, baby." She said, "What she say? Somebody, your mom really raised you right." I said, "He know if he wouldn't have got out there, I didn't have to tell him to get up, because if he wouldn't have got up, I'd have knocked the shit out of his ass."
Right. And and just like you said last night, we have to realize, for those of us who have multiple children, people can lie all they want. You raise your children with the generic basics, but there is a difference in how you raise each individual child. You can say
because they're not the same, and that's what we said. That's what we said. If you lie and say you got more than one child, and you say you treat them the same, you're a goddamn liar. You're a horrible parent, and I'm telling you that to your face.
No, because
You either telling a lie or you're a horrible parent, because your kids, even when you got twins, they are not going to act the same. So you cannot treat them the same. My oldest son, what is it?
She sing. My nephew want to know: do you sing, and what kind of music?
It depends, and yes, I do. I do sing. I write mostly R&B and inspirational music. Yeah, R&B and inspirational, but my favorite genre of music is blues and jazz.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. The quick thing, H2. That song we worked on. Almost got it done.
All right. We be doing.
Y'all worked on the song?
Yeah, we worked on the song.
Listen, y'all. Let me tell y'all something.
We'll let you hear it soon.
And
Okay.
I say,
I was gonna punch Red in his damn face the other day playing that song when he was like, she talking about something she can't say. Ain't nobody told him to play nothing with me.
well, he did, honey. Too late now. I
Now,
know
he
you
better
wish
be
you
lucky.
could turn back the hands of time, but you can't, boo. Boo. Okay.
No, it's all right. I love working with Red in the studio. Well, I hate it when I'm in there, but I love it when we done. Because when you're two people who know that stuff, and you're so bullheaded. So I'm in there. I kept saying, "Well, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it." He was like, "Shut the hell up and sing the goddamn song." I was like, "Well, damn,
Hey, the song is nice. Go with Reed.
Is we need to let people flow in their gifts. You know,
I still get it like shit. Yeah, because you know what, Jay? You know why you the oldest, and you still get like because, first of all, children. I'm not going to just say raise right, but children who respect their parents will always respect their parents. My oldest son is 34 and my youngest is 23. If we're all on a group, like we FaceTime on iPhone and stuff like that, we all have a good time and somebody curse, the first thing they're going to say is, that wasn't me.
Right.
That wasn't me. They will be pointing fingers at each other like they was little kids. They do it all the time. My kids all smoke weed and stuff, but they will not smoke in front of me. Like, I will go to their house and I'll be like, "Hey, we in your house. I'm in your house. You can go ahead." But they won't.
I want you to expound on this, Nikki. For my kids, I can say, and it's sad, but I'm gonna tell y'all know I'm as transparent as a motherfucker. I'm as transparent as a father. I was gonna say motherfucker, but we know that ain't true. Anywho, I really do believe deep down in my heart that my children give more respect to their mother than they do me.
Well, why you feel like that? Have you talked to them about it?
I'm gonna tell you why. And I mean, my children are disrespected like that because my children will cuss in front of me in a heartbeat. But if they slip out their mouth and say a cuss word in front, "Oh my, I'm so sorry," I'm like, "So why the hell did you say you were sorry to me?"
You know, because are you the cool parent?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Yeah. You're the cool. It's not being disrespectful. You just cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Diggable Planet. It's Diggable Planet. Helena, cool like that.
Like that.
Chill like that. Chill like that.
That being said, put that next comment up. Yeah, that one right there. He ain't nothing bad. You do sound
I love it because, honey, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, oh my God, Sarah Vaughan, those are my favorites. And I told y'all one time, my daughter upstairs, she will not sing to save her life, but she really can. But she can rap her ass off, right? And when she was like 8, she kind of R&B'd up all of me because I used to put on the Billie Holiday CD. I really put it in to get their asses out the house so I could clean. But because I liked it and I knew that they didn't. And she walked past me, y'all, and I swear to God, this was her voice, 8 years old. Let's see if I can get it. I'm a little raspy right now. Let's see if I can get it. She said, "You took the best, so why not take the rest? And baby, take all of me." She was 8. She was 8. When I tell y'all, baby, I was calling my brother. I said, "She's singing Billie Holiday. She's singing Billie Holiday." And see, my voice is raspy right now, but Cole's voice is raspy all the time. And I was so happy. And when that heifer said something, she wanted to rap. Oh, I wanted to put a foot in her ass so damn bad. I wanted to put a foot in her ass so bad. I was like, "Girl, do you know how we can groom that and cultivate that?" Now she told me, "I want to take some lessons, Mom." I said, "You get your ass out."
Right. Because I could always get like a note or two, but I would never consider myself a singer. But that talent and being able to draw are the two things I really wish I was really good at. As many things as I'm kind of good at, those are the two talents I really wish I had.
I can be
a backup. All my kids can draw. All my kids.
Anybody.
Honey, come on. I'll back up. I'm going to be in the front no damn way. Nasty. You're so nasty. Look,
I'm good.
You know, I don't think
I'm professionally nasty. I'm professional.
Yes, I like that. I like that.
Paid to do it.
Yeah. Don't play with it. Lay with it. Don't play with it. Lay with it.
I think all my kids, except for my oldest daughter, can really draw. They did not get that shit from me. I can't even draw a stick man straight, but them motherfuckers can draw.
Yeah,
like
and,
that.
But my mom could draw though. My mom could draw, so I think, well, my aunt mom, Jackie could draw her ass off too. She could draw and sing.
Question for
She was
everybody.
in that group. Y'all remember that group? Helena, I know you probably remember. You remember First Choice?
Yes.
My mom was in First Choice.
Oh wow.
Wait, and then I pulled up some old YouTube videos, right? I said, Mom, I don't see you in none of them. She said, who up there, that ugly buck-tooth bitch?
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Listen, I told y'all Jackie was the one that say, praise the Lord, who the hell is this?
Right,
yes.
Right.
Jackie cussed you clean the fuck out. I said, well, and as I was watching it, I knew exactly who she was talking about. I said, well, yeah, why? Who is that? She said, the bitch that they replaced me with. She said, I had the voice, but that bitch had the work ethic. I didn't give a fuck.
Right, right.
She said, I wanted to be in the street. She said, I had the voice, but she had the work ethic, so they replaced me.
And
you think I'm funny, Jane? Thank you.
And in the music world, that's how it is, because we all know, and for those who didn't know, let me tell you this right now. We all know for a fact that Diana Ross did not have the best voice in the group.
Oh my God, I've been saying that forever.
She had the best commercial voice. She didn't have the best voice.
Right. Because Miss Wilson, honey. Miss Wilson. Right. And she worked hard.
Yeah.
She worked at, and that's another thing I tell Jamal, the same thing. You will have somebody with 1/10 of your talent come and do better than you because they will work harder at it. You are naturally blessed with this talent. Jamal is the youngest. So Jamal has embodied all of our talents. Everybody in my family does music. They either sing, they rap, they play instruments, they write, produce, engineer. So Jamal has been able to absorb everything. That boy can write, produce, engineer. He was singing on his earlier stuff when he was a kid too. So his talent has come so naturally to him that he does not feel that he's supposed to work at it. And I was like, you gonna wonder why somebody else gonna be taking your spot? Because there's somebody else gonna work for it.
And and the thing about it is they made 9 times out of 10, they may not have a better voice than you, but they have that work ethic, which makes it
that work ethic will get them way further
than you. And
it's a whole bunch of talented motherfuckers singing on the corner, honey.
Trust me when I tell you, it's a whole bunch of them, and they can sing, and they don't know the ins and the outs about the business, and they the same ones who assign them contracts. And just like with the Supremes, if you I'm a music freak anyway. Just like
Me
with
too.
the Supremes, like, you got to realize there's more to this than you. They got to pay for your band. They got to pay for your makeup artist. They got what you think that money coming out Barry Gordy's pocket? Hell no.
Let me tell you something. You know what my kids, the first lesson I gave my kids in the music business, you know the first word that they had to look up?
What?
Recoupable.
Right.
Understand this word means whatever money I put out for you, no matter what capacity it is, I get that back off the top before I take my percentage of anything. If I get 60% of your shit, I get the 60% after I take everything I already put on you first, and then I take my 60%.
Right.
That word, if you don't know nothing else in the music business, no recoupable. Let me tell you something. Let me give y'all else another little tidbit. I don't give a shit how broke you are. Unless you are sleeping in a cardboard box, do not take an advance. If you get a major deal, do not take an advance. An advance is not a bonus. Please understand this, children. It is not a bonus. An advance is just what it is, an advance. They take that shit back too.
Yeah.
So if you take a $400,000 advance, but they spent $400,000 on your video and your makeup or whatever else they did, and then however much they spent on you, you will be owing them.
Yeah, so you owe the $400,000.
Talk about where my money at
for the advance, and you owe another $400,000 for the money that they put into you.
Right. Okay. This reminds me of two things. One, y'all remember that TLC movie they did on VH1?
Right.
And they were trying to understand where all their money was going and it went. That
Yeah.
part.
Well,
And then two.
well, Pebbles. First of all, Pebbles was a fucking crook, and she needed to
Hey,
stop.
flat.
She was too
Flat.
pretty to be that much of a goddamn crook.
Right.
And she was getting used by LaFace Records in regards to that anyway.
Well, guess what?
Well, no. Well, because look, at the end of the day, Peptone had all these extra contracts because it's unethical to be the manager and the
Yeah, I get that.
and the what-you-call team. You can't be both. Okay, so if you can't be the production company and the management team.
Right.
Because if you're mad at your production, you can't run, and you want to go tell your management, you can't. They're the same goddamn person. So that was unethical. Pebbletone had them signed to 3 different contracts in which she was the head of. That didn't even have to do. I mean, LaFace, not Babyface. What's the face? Wait, who was Babyface? L.A. Reid. I'm getting him Babyface myself. Okay, so even though L.A. Reid probably knew, he wasn't the one gagging him. Pebbles was.
Right.
But people are hungry when you want to get into this business, so people take everything that somebody will give them. That's what I love about independent artists now.
Right.
Because you're going to know where your money is going. You know, when you have independent filmmakers like us, who can still make that same video that your label told you cost $500,000, and I can make it for you for $5,000.
Right.
And then you still got your money.
And the
you know what I'm saying?
Good, if not better.
Right.
Well,
right.
Guys,
because honey, it's all in the editing. It's all in the editing.
Something that happened to me today. I'm gonna share this good news with you guys, and then we're gonna go to a commercial break and come back.
Ooh, Nighthawk Network needs some good news. What you got?
Hold on, Helena, before you do that. The second movie that I was referencing, y'all remember that movie House Party 3?
You know, I
really got the one with Bernie Mac was in it.
Yeah, remember the part where the kids was playing that little Monopoly-like game called the Music Biz?
I'm trying to remember because the only thing I can remember from that was when Bernie Mac was like, everybody and their mama here, including the law.
Well, see, it's the part where they be playing this Monopoly-like game. It was kind of Monopoly/life game called the Music Biz. And it's like, yeah, we know the game. We got it all figured out. See, this right here, this is a groupie. And this right, you remember that part now, H2?
Yeah. I remember.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what this discussion reminded me of.
See, you know, what people need to realize is, in order to be successful in anything in life, it takes preparation.
Yes.
You have to prepare yourself. I don't care if you want to be an actress, if you want to be a film director, you want to be you just ain't gonna walk into I don't care how good your voice is, because like Nikki said, there's a lot of people who got multi-million-dollar contracts, and I could go right out here and find a Negro on the corner who could sing circles around them.
Remember, look, he bringing up movie references. Remember on Sister Act 2?
We always do.
Remember on Sister Act 2 when Lauryn Hill mama sang, there's a whole lot of people in the corner singing they coulda, woulda, shouldas.
I remember that.
Yeah. But
Shirley Ralph was the mama.
But then the mother also didn't take the time and realize that her daughter had a phenomenal voice.
Right, and that was the thing. Like sometimes it needs that nurturing, but when she got it, at least she didn't get it too late.
Right,
but in her defense as a mother, she was trying to protect her child from what could happen. But then when you see how much talent they have, the fact that she was able to turn it around means that now I need to be there to help you every step of the way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, because that moment at the concert when she first opened her mouth to sing and her mama get that wow moment, the chill.
I said, go ahead, girl.
Yeah. And that goddamn Lauren, honey, she makes me mad.
She makes me upset too.
We're not even gonna talk about her right now.
Oh wait, I want to hear your good news because we need good news around these parts.
Well, my good news I got today. My sister, who lives in Jackson, Mississippi, is gonna sponsor me probably like 10 gowns.
What?
Yeah.
Nice. Real nice.
Ashley's in Jackson, Mississippi. Do she know anybody last name Ross? Bernard Ross Jr.
I sure will. She's getting
I'm
ready.
being that serious. Look, did we say that about black people? Don't we? When they live somewhere, we just assume they know everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming.
she's getting ready to open her own boutique, and it's a possibility that she's gonna be which y'all know how I feel about that. She's gonna it's a possibility that she's gonna be um a part of a reality show. Well, girl, you my sister, I love you, but that's just not what I do. Because she do
Well,
styling
tell
for.
her what we talked about last night.
Yes.
You have the ability to say.
I'm not gonna do A, B, and C. Fuck it.
Right. So just talk to her about that. You know what? Go ahead, let her shine, let her get her money. Just tell her to remember who she is.
Right. Actually,
And sometimes, and if you with the shits, then you with the shits. You know what I'm saying? Because some people just with the shit.
Some people are, but I'm like, you know what? You in any business you get into, do your best to be in control of your own.
That's all.
Shit.
That's right.
Period.
Be in control of whatever it is that you're going to be doing. That's all. Oh, you know what? Since we talk about you getting gals and stuff like this, I've been meant to ask you a million damn times. But like we say, y'all, this Nighthawk Network, we've been catching hell. We've been catching hell throughout this network. Yeah. I need to get. I think I did mention it to you though, but I want to get like a corset, a real good one. But I don't want to be where I can't breathe.
Well, that's not that depends on.
Because I want more than a girdle. I want it sucked in. Girdle make it smooth. I want it sucked in.
Yeah, and see with the corset, the tightness is in all how tight you draw in the strings.
Right. I want to be able to breathe. Okay. As long as I'm able to breathe.
I had to do my corset the other way when I was in fashion design school. My teacher's like,
the hell you need a damn corset for? You have Monique say, you skinny bitch.
I told my teacher, I say, look, girl, I don't feel like taking this hammer, banging these little eyelets in there. Bitch, I'm putting a zipper in my corset. I'm not doing all that eyelet shit.
Can you do me one of them?
And I put a zipper in mine, honey. I wasn't doing that eyelet
Can you
shit.
give me one and make it to the right way and then put a zipper in it?
I sure can.
It could suck because I got a big belly. Like
I have more talents than to being professional.
Man.
No, I know. That's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking you. I know you know what you're doing. That's why I'm asking you. I'm dead ass serious. Don't fucking play with me because you know I hop on the plane and be knocking on your fucking door.
No, you can't come yet because I ain't got no crabs for you. So don't play with me. Because then you be coming here and eat my ass for
I'll stop and get them. No, I'll stop and get them. They be nice and blue and still crawling, and I'll bring them right to your fucking door.
And we'll be putting them right on the stove and taking them together. But guys, we're going to take a little break. And when we come back, I want to know your feelings about what's going to transpire on Wednesday.
Oh, shit. Is that here?
Yes.
Already?
Yes.
Yep.
It's here.
Now, y'all can tell we've been wrapped up in some shit because I just realized that today. Ooh.
Actually, I want to give a little talk about what I think might very well happen tomorrow, too.
Okay, and we're going to do that as soon as we come back from this fabulous commercial break. Praise the Lord. Sha-da-la-la-la-la-la.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. You look like you blue.
This is the Nighthawk Network. Our voices for our people. Nighthawk Network.
And we're back, babies. Mother is back in the building. I'm so glad you guys are here with me. My two guests is the one and only, often imitated, never duplicated Aunt Nikki. And on the other
Yes,
side, the
Lord.
Big E. Now,
Well,
you
I
got
well,
took
to
my
ask me.
avatar off. Don't y'all talk about these bags under my eyes, you motherfuckers. I'm tired.
We
have you
will.
seen
His
me?
name, his
Are
name
you
is
looking
Big
at me?
E. His name is Big E. You got to ask him why they call him Big E. Ain't got nothing
All
to do with
right, all right,
that
all
was
right.
just the name I was told. Oh, don't play with
Hey,
it. Okay,
they
I'm
call
sorry.
me Big E not because I'm big in stature, but I'm big in the things that I look to accomplish.
I know
For
All
that's
right,
example,
right,
this
but
Nighthawk Network.
they need to call
all
me
right,
bigger, right?
honey.
And you
They
know
need to
that
call
saying,
me.
go big or go home? That
I
part.
know
Ooh,
that's right. I say
I
keep it
hear
moving and go
that.
home because I can't do. Let me tell y'all something. I don't care what nobody tell you, and listen to experience here. Bigger don't always mean better. I'm trying to tell
Especially when
you.
you don't know what to do with it, honey.
Hmm.
Nikki, go back.
Ah,
Put the avatar back up, girl. You starting trouble, but yeah.
But in the
But
same
you
token,
said mother went to her Bible study thing, right? She ain't
uh-huh.
listening. Okay.
yeah, but in
But
the same token, just because it's big don't mean you can't get it in, okay?
I know.
Woo,
Okay. Well, you might not get it in here, honey, because I'm a small bitch. I'm trying to tell you.
woo.
I be like this,
This dance ain't for everybody. Only the
Nikki. I
same.
be like this. I be like this
All
on Nikki.
right.
And what the hell are you planning on doing with that? Put it on my shoulder and burp that bitch? Girl, I'm trying to tell you. But anyway,
Out of hand.
Look,
thank you guys for being
anything.
here on Hey Bitches Live. I'm here with my two cohorts in the Nighthawk Network, my Aunt Nikki and my little brother Big E. We thank you for being here. But what we're going to do is, and I've been saying this for a while now, I need all of you under the sound of my voice, and even all of you that comes into the Nighthawk Network, I need to make sure that you guys, and Erica's going to come on after this, be very aware of your damn surroundings, whether you're walking, catching public
Yes.
transportation, you in your car, because you know for a fact if you get carjacked, it's always 99.9% of the time it's going to be more than one person. And most of these
Yes.
motherfuckers are they going to come at you with tire irons and guns and shit. So I
Mhm.
need y'all to prepare, male or female drivers. You driving for Uber, you driving for Domino's. Have yourself prepared. If you're sitting anywhere, I don't even care if you're sitting at a light, lock your damn doors.
Please do. Please do. And for my Uber drivers, honey, make sure whatever protection you have in your car, be it your gun, your taser, or your knife, have it where you can get to it and where you know. Do some simulations if you need to.
Yeah,
If a mother, like if it's only one person, you can't sit behind me.
Mm-hmm.
right.
You have to get on the other side. I
And
Mm-hmm.
don't
these
trust nobody sitting right behind me.
Nope.
let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. These things are important to me because a lot of times we think that it's not nothing. The way this climate is right now, and I tell people this all the time. Back in the day, I was one of them people. I would go out all hours at night, get on a bus, and then one day I woke up and say, "Bitch, you know what? Every time you get on a bus, I want you to go live." People say, "Why you live? You see where I'm at? Yeah, you on Emerson Calhoun, so bitch, now you know where I'm at. So
So
if
you
I
know
don't go,
where I'm at.
that's why I
You know
go live.
what?
I don't. Sometimes I don't even necessarily have anything to say, but I just want somebody to be able to
To
know
know where I
I'm
was
located.
exactly.
Because
Oh, you know what? Here's another thing, you guys. When you in Uber and Lyft,
Yep. Go there.
if you are a passenger,
Mm-hmm.
you can share your
Yeah.
ride
If
with
you're a
somebody
driver
that
as
you
well,
care about.
if you're a driver as
So
well,
that
you share your ride.
you're a driver as
Yeah.
well. But I'm talking like as a passenger, because
Mm-hmm.
I know I tell the little girls and stuff, you know, like the teenagers, boys and girls, I tell them when they get in the car, listen, share your ride. I don't care if you share it with your sister, your cousin, your best friend, your mama, your father, your auntie, your cousin. Share your ride.
Mm-hmm.
So because you got, and don't think because you got, and I tell them, don't think because you got a woman driver, you say, because there's crazy ass bitches out here too.
Absolutely.
Share your ride so somebody knows where you are. You know what I mean? I got my iPhone too. Me and all my kids, we share our location.
Mm-hmm.
Our locations to our family is on. We know where each other are at all times
Mm-hmm.
because you never know what might happen.
You
You know
never
what I'm saying?
know.
And like y'all said, be aware of your surroundings. You have to. In this climate that we in, you never know who gonna do what.
let
Absolutely.
me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And we're saying this to you not just for lip service. We're saying this to you because we care for you. We at the Nighthawk Network, as a family, we have been going through a lot of things, and I would hate to lose anybody because you're not paying attention to your damn surroundings.
Absolutely.
Excuse my language, pay fucking attention.
Absolutely. Sometimes we gotta say it like that.
I told Miss Pat, you know what? Let me do this for a second. No, I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna do a Meech and let the screen go one. But listen, just like I told Miss Pat, even when you're catching mobility, please let people know.
Cause you don't know they crazy too. Them motherfucking drivers, they shit.
Hello. They
They get for a paycheck.
Especially for people like us who are single.
Right.
And don't have people that keep regular tabs on what's going on. You know my rule about that, H2. If ever I'm going to be out of the house for more than 10 minutes, I let one of y'all or one of my besties know that I'm going to be gone for a minute and this is where I'm going, and I will hit you when I get back.
And
like if people don't know, we have our chats, you guys, our Nighthawk Network chats. And even though I'm not in it as much as I used to be because there's just so much stuff going on. But what I do is I'll pop in and say, hey, I love y'all, blah, 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 blah. And I'll try to check it. I done missed, like, I went on the thing the other day. It was 56 shit done happen. 56 goddamn messages I done missed.
We
but
I'm not reading all that shit.
we talking stuff.
But the thing is, for us, it's important for us to check in with each other. To let each other know that we are okay, especially in the midst of so many of us going through different things. If it's nothing but to say, guys, I'm okay. I know y'all was worried about me, but I'm okay. I might not have the time to be in the chat and stuff all day today, but I want to let you know that I'm all right. And I'm making a point to say, I'm okay. I love y'all.
Right.
You know
and
what
if
I'm
I
saying?
don't get that in time, you know, that's when I hit up your personal page, like, Nick Boo, what's going on?
Right. And even if
will call my phone and be like, you all right?
And even if you don't
and all I need to hear is yes. Okay. See you later.
You'll hit me up and give me a 2-minute call. Helena, what's going on? You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. And you know, and that's why I'm blessed and I'm totally elated to be a part of something of this magnitude, because this thing right here, we're bringing it where it needs to be for everybody as a whole. And like I said last night, and I tell people, I said, you know what, one thing about the Nighthawk Network, we're probably one of the most diverse networks going, period.
Right. Because we all got different things that we care about. And that good thing about them is we get to all be able to share them in different ways, in different forms. And like, we know, because you guys know that I take care of Lily all day.
Right.
I'm in my master's program right now, so I might be doing homework with Lily. I'm building my shit over on what the fuck is it called, Eric? Over on Bigo.
Right.
I've been asked by 2 different agencies now to become a host. So I'm building stuff over there, and over there you have to be on a certain amount of time to be able to do certain stuff. So I'm not always on Facebook. Like today, I didn't know that Meech had put up the post. But apparently, as soon as he put up the post, I was already calling him to check on him. I was like, hey, what's the word for the day? How's she feeling today?
Yeah.
And he said, you didn't see the post. But no, because I'm not always on it. So that's why it's so good for us to have the things that we have, because I'm not always on Facebook. I'm not always on Instagram. I pop on there if I see, like, and because when Lily's in school or when I'm doing my homework, I turn my alerts off.
Right.
So a lot of times I don't know I even got messages because I turn them off, because then I can't concentrate. Y'all know this is my goddamn master's degree program, honey. There's not playing with me. Them papers got to be right.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to pull my damn hair out sometimes.
So
but
we're gonna move the mood to.
Okay, hold on. One thing before you do that.
What you got?
Personally, I will say this, because in these times with all this going on, I just need y'all to personally know, if you have not heard from me in 24 hours, something is wrong. Let somebody know to check on me immediately. As a person, like I say, who lives by themselves, I am always concerned about that.
Oh, you know what you need to do? Put in the thing too, E. Just because you said that, and just in case there's anybody else in the network, if you, like E, live by yourself, And that rule goes for you too. Y'all need to put emergency contact in the net on the Nighthawk Network thing.
Yeah, most
You need
definitely. Because, I
emergency
mean,
contact.
because and that
Because
goes
most
for
of us are not in the
everybody,
same state.
right? And
Mhm.
that goes for everybody, whether you're male or female. Because I'm so sick. Excuse me for saying this. I'm so sick of society, and some of these men think that they're untouchable. I remember
Yeah.
there was a carjacking of a black man who was a retired fire chief or whatever. He was retired and got gunned down for his car.
Because some of these, they don't care.
They don't
No.
care. And a lot,
They
and
don't
the sad thing
care.
about it is
They have no
are doing it.
conscience and shit.
And the
None.
sad thing about it is a lot of them are doing that shit for gang initiation.
Oh my
Mhm.
God. They still do that?
Yeah,
Yes.
they still do stupid
I
stuff.
remember when I learned about, remember when you learned that, remember back in the day, if you, the people, they riding down the street at night and they lights is off, we used to flash at them and tell them to let you know and then you found out that if you do that, that could be part of a gang initiation. So what they would do is they cut their lights off, and the first person that would flick their lights at them, like to tell them that your lights ain't on, those be the ones they go kill.
Right.
Bitch, I don't flick at nobody no more. When I found that out years ago, and I don't flick at nobody, you won't be shoot me.
Girl,
I pray to God that you don't crash down the road, but I'm not telling you your lights ain't on.
girl, you could be on 95 going south, and you going south by your damn self, because my lights are gonna be on. I'm riding right past you, bye boo. Come on, Earth, bring it to us with the climate that we're in right now. Come on, talk to me.
Okay, here's the thing, people. We got about 36 hours left before the transition of power. And I hate to say it like that, but in essence, that's what it's viewed as by those of us who don't think like us, a la the Trumponians.
Right.
Because the person that is
We
in
talk
charge,
about it on the news right now,
what are they saying?
of what they're hoping Biden plans to do.
Okay, well,
As
keep
of
it
the
back.
21st.
Tomorrow night show, when I get off my long live, we're going to deep dive into that because I have the 12 things that I feel the Biden administration should do.
Hold on. Homeland Security and the National Guard and everything, they already here. I didn't know they was here. What the fuck we need them here for? They here, and Helena, I guess Leah probably see it more, but Helena, you'll probably see it too. They done deployed. They got the National Guard and Homeland Security and stuff already preparing.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have shipped some National Guards to state capitals.
Yeah, right here in Michigan, they have like about 5,000 National Guards and state police mounted up, and they're gonna be here not only till the inauguration, but for the rest of the month because they've got reports about.
And that's good though.
Different things going.
You know what, E? If we can bring this up on your show tomorrow, since that's going to be the topic of your thing, I've never in my life been scared of a white person, right? But right now, driving Uber, I'm not sure, and I know it sounds horrible to say, but now if a white person gets in my car, I'm not that comfortable,
right?
Because I don't know where you are. Because I don't know where you are with it. And no, I don't want to judge everybody, but no, I don't want to have to wait and then it's too late.
Right.
And then you got to knock me upside my motherfucking head or try to kill me.
Right.
Because you see me as your enemy because your dumb ass president is stupid and you stupid right with him.
Right.
And I'm in a conflicting feeling about that because I've never had that. Will I call out racist white people? Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. But generally just being prejudiced, that's never been me because my family is too diverse for that to even be. That will be me looking in the mirror saying, bitch, you don't like yourself. Or bitch, you don't like your granddaughter. My first granddaughter, Redman's oldest daughter, has blonde hair and blue eyes. You understand? Right. If she didn't have my son's face, I would be looking at her mother a little sideways.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? So there's no possible way that I could ever just feel prejudice for no reason. But this is the first time in my 50 years on this earth, I am afraid when, if it's a white person in the hood, right? We all know him. Everybody had that neighborhood white person. It's like our Eminem, our Machine Gun Kelly. You know what I mean? Everybody had the one white boy, one white girl, whatever. Those ain't the ones I'm worried about.
Right, right.
But that motherfucker in the suit getting in my car, I'm not too sure about you, sir.
Right.
That makes me very uncomfortable. And for the first time in my life to even have to think about that is making me feel weird. Like I really feel weird.
I get it.
But,
I completely get it.
but
You know, I'm an Uber driver, so I completely understand that feeling.
and the climate has allowed us and put us there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know that it's a lot of people that wear suits up in Congress, but they wear them white suits.
Come on. Up in Congress, in our police stations,
right?
At the head of the school board.
Right.
Like I said, I don't know if I said it on the show earlier, but I know I've said it before. In my 55 years of living, I have never seen as much white privilege that I have in these last 4 years of my life.
Well, what it is it's always been right there in our face, but 45 gave them the outlet to be able to be outside and be loud and proud with it.
Be their true selves.
I'm gonna tell you like this: 45 gave them permission.
Yep. He let them just be who they was gonna be. But you know what? That's another thing, though. I would rather know who you are. See, and we talked about that before. Remember we talked about that on a couple of our shows. If you waving a Confederate flag on your house, I don't give a shit. I want you to keep flying it. You know why? Right. And I say this, I use this all the time. I use this analogy all the time. If you flying your flag, my car break down in the middle of the night, I know not to knock on your motherfucking door. Please fly it.
Hello.
Right.
So
I don't have a problem because we got a mutual understanding. You don't like me? Okay, well, motherfucker, I don't like you either. And you don't like me, I ain't gotta like you, and I'm not gonna kiss your ass. I want, you know who I want to be displaying shit like that? The motherfuckers who own restaurants and clothing stores and shit that where we gotta give them our money. Please display that in your window so I know for sure not to give you my damn money.
And you know that I do not approve of this opinion, flat out.
Okay.
Because just like I tell people all the time, when I shop, if I'm not even in your store for 5 minutes and you're following me, I'm leaving the fuck.
I'm out. I'm out. Me too.
I don't do all that because you know, most of the time I tell them like this: if I need help, I will.
You know the ones I like, the ones that say, "Let me know if you need help with anything," and they go on about their business.
I like that. That
I like them.
But I know a lot of stores lost money from me just for that one reason. Go ahead, Big E.
I just came up with a very good show idea just from that discussion.
What's up?
What it means to be a black consumer.
Yes.
And you know,
so that people, particularly people,
you want my black dollars, but you really don't want my black ass in your store.
Right.
See, you know what? And Eric, that goes so deep because you know what? And I tell people this all the time. Guess what? Gay people money green too, bitch.
Even that, what it means to be a gay consumer.
Yes, a part of the alphabet community.
Right.
And going into people's stores. You mad at me for something that has nothing to do with you, but you want my money.
Right.
You want to talk shit, but you want my money.
But see,
disrespectful.
But see, the slant I want to put on that is because we have all these people that are minority owners and who are people of color, and they want us to buy their things as opposed to going to the mainstream and big box stores. This is our way of letting you know, okay, this is what we expect when we go into your establishments. These are the types of things that we are looking for. So if you want to cater to our money and get in our pockets, these are the things we feel you should do.
Right.
You know what? And can we add this to black consumers? When we have black-owned businesses, and you want to know why? Oh, I think that's too much for that. That's too much for that. But then you'll go to a designer store and pay 3, 4, 5 times that much. Mm-hmm. Understand, a small business owner, black or white, but a small business owner does not have the traffic that the big stores have. So in order for their prices to come down, you must go to them. You must buy things from them. If you don't buy things from them, I remember that, like the nail techs. My cousin Sharonda, like I told you, all my family do hair and nails and all that shit. You want to know why she doesn't do nails and stuff no more? Okay, the Asian community came in. They come in, they do it cheaper. right? They do it, you know, they do it cheaper, they do it quick, whatever, because they got 5,000 of them in there. And it might be only in our hair salon, Sharana might be the only nail tech in there, maybe one or two.
Right.
Her prices are higher because you guys are going to the Asian stores to get them done. So her overhead price had to be higher because she doesn't have as much business.
She don't
If
have
you
the
want the
depth like
prices to
Asian
come
people.
down, then you must buy. Ain't that how the Asian people say?
Yeah.
Buy now, buy now.
And another thing you got to understand about these big box stores, they can afford to sell these things cheaper because they get them in bulk because there's so many of them at once. So
Right.
you go to
And
a
even though your small person might get it at a wholesale price, they still not buying as much. So if the more you get, the less it costs.
Right.
And you also got to keep in mind that most of these bigger stores, they are corporate stores. They're going to
Right.
have stores that's going to lose money, and they're fine with that because they're going to write that store off. But you, if you are an
Or
entrepreneur,
their insurance covers it.
hello,
Exactly.
Somebody go in their store and steal and shit like that.
hello,
Insurance covers that.
You
You
better
steal
educate.
out of a small business owner stuff that comes out of their pocket.
Yes.
when I used to be a
And I ain't gonna hold y'all because I'm gonna tell you in a heartbeat, honey, the boosters used to be my best goddamn friend. I wish I could find something now. But I do understand how the economics work.
yes,
Mhm.
and
Shit goes up. Stolen, you steal some goods, the price is going.
that's a part of what we need to realize. And I tell people all the time: make your money work for you.
Right.
Exactly.
If we can keep it in in the community, then I say do that first and foremost. But I'm also going to say that some of the black owned businesses, y'all have to step up as
I was
far.
getting ready to say that too. Step it up.
Y'all have to step it up.
That is a very key
Be
component.
consistent. Be consistent. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? You can't say you're gonna do this. Like y'all know, I put my thing up. I had started, you know, I opened the kitchen, right?
Mhm.
And although, like my normal people, you know, Meech was here, Tay was here, the guys that where I get my car fixed and stuff at, they was here. But all the people, even my daughter-in-law, who did not have to buy anything, put money in my pocket to contribute to it. My daughter, all the way up in Philly, cashed at me money to contribute to it because y'all know I don't get them good stamps like everybody else. So I had to spend money to get all that food. So then when somebody says, oh yeah, we coming to get some, we coming to get some, we coming to get some, I took money out my pocket to not barely even make that money back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you go to one of these stupid ass restaurants who got nasty ass food, but everybody know I can cook my ass off. And then you're gonna ask me later, oh, you still cooking?
Or you'll go to a buffet where they're gonna charge you per pound.
Or go to a buffet where your ass could get ptomaine poison.
Right, because the food is sat there for hours, or they reusing yesterday's food.
Yeah.
And then
Ask me when Meech came to get his food last week. I said, "You tell me when you on your way because I want to drop your chicken and your fish when I know you are on the way."
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do when I sell dinners. I don't think only thing you should have cold on your plate is your potato salad.
That's it.
And if you're gonna have anything cold, by the way, when you're doing catering, you know, because I do catering too, please put it in something separate from the hot food.
Let me tell you something. That's always what I do. I either put it in a separate container, either a separate small container, or you know, I got the tray. So I will put whatever's supposed to be cold on a different tray.
Right.
Except for the people who don't mind, like some people like warm potato salad. I'm not one of them.
Hold on a second, y'all.
I'm usually always putting cold stuff on separate things. But like my greens, I do the greens in the crock pot so that they can always stay hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing that I might have to maybe warm a little bit for you in the microwave is maybe the baked macaroni and cheese.
Right.
You know, but you know, it's still warm because I keep the oven on warm. I just don't want it to dry out. But I want you to have fresh food.
Macaroni and cheese is also a good thing that it doesn't hurt it if you
right. And that's another thing too. People don't tell me you coming in. You want them. You making this, and then I make this, and then you don't come. Because first of all, the one thing about my baked macaroni and cheese is I spend a lot of money on the cheeses that I use.
Me too.
A good macaroni cheese is expensive macaroni cheese. I agree.
On a regular, I use about at the least, I use 6 different cheeses. At the least.
Let me tell you something. Is it? Wait a minute, because it's 500 Italian blend. Parmesan. It's 4 or 5 of them in the Italian blend itself, right?
That's
I used to buy them all separate, but then I started getting lazy and just start buying the Italian blend pack. But I use the Italian blend plus a mild cheddar, a sharp cheddar, and then I add an extra wedge of Asiago cheese.
Okay.
Because even though there's Asiago in the Italian blend,
right,
there's something about that extra block of it that I use that gives it what everybody loves so much.
Right.
Like I remember Kay called me. She said, "Well, how you made?" I said, "Girl," I said, "I could be doing something different every time, but the reason why it comes out the same is because of the cheeses that I use." I said, "I promise you, make it the way that you make it, and as long as you use these cheeses, I'm telling you, it's going to taste the way you like mine to taste."
And see, I do that bag that you do, but I also use the taco blend in mine too.
You put the taco blend one of yours? I want to taste it.
And sometimes, depending on who it is, I can't think of it. But if it's just for me, I'll put pepper jack cheese in it too.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've done that before too, and it tastes good. And now let me tell you this. This is the funniest thing. If I'm out at a restaurant or something and they use smoked Gouda, I love it. But when I make it, I don't like it.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
I like Gouda, but I don't like smoked Gouda in when I make it. But when I'm out, I gotta ask one of the chefs one day, what the hell did y'all do? Because when I make it, that smoked Gouda don't come out the same. But if I eat it out at a restaurant, I love it.
But see,
but that's not because they're using a cheese sauce.
With my macaroni and cheese is, I don't make a cheese sauce.
Me neither. I don't like that. That's what I was saying. I think that's what it is about the smoked Gouda. I think they make a cheese sauce.
Right.
I think that's the difference. Right. And I don't make a cheese sauce. I don't like a cheese sauce.
I don't use a roux, not at all.
I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons why I stopped making cheese sauce, because every time I was making, and you know, when you had burnt cheese, that's some nasty tasting shit.
Because if you don't do that roux right, because if you burn your roux, your cheese sauce is burnt. You got to start over, you dumbasses. Right. It's the same thing with your gravy, people. People ask me all the time, how you get your gravy perfect every time? Motherfucker, because I'm standing there and I'm making it.
Right.
You got to stir that stuff.
Listen, you have to have it down low.
Yes.
And my flour, I season most of the time I'm using whatever drippings of whatever meat I'm using. So if I made a whole turkey or a turkey breast or roast beef or whatever, I'm using those drippings. But whichever it is, whether it's chicken, turkey, or beef, I also have those like the bouillon stuff, but I use the paste one.
There you go.
When the flour is cooking, I let that cook with the flour. Yeah. So that beef or chicken or turkey taste is in the flour. Absolutely. So then when I go to add the other stuff.
But you know what else I do? Like if I'm frying chicken and making gravy, the seasoned flour that I use for my chicken is the
There you go. Me too. Me too. Got that from my grandma, baby. When I used to see her do it, I'd be like, what's she doing?
But it's less seasoning that you have to put in it once you make the gravy, because the flour has, the seasonings in it.
Yeah, but another good catering tip. Y'all see this right here? Y'all see these?
Yeah.
These are catering tins, okay?
Oh, yeah, I have those.
Yeah, regardless of where you are in the country right now, there is some type of store that you can go to and get these in bulk.
I was going to say, if you go to Aldi, if you got an Aldi in your town, Aldi have them all the time. That's where I be getting mine from.
I mean, because like I said, here we have this place called Gordon's Food Service that you can go to.
And we have Sam's Club here and Walmart.
We got Sam. Down we got Sam's, Costco's, and BJ's.
All those places.
We got all of those up at home too. All 3 of those at home too.
But see, I need people to know, when you're in the catering business and you're doing dinners, you have to realize that if this dinner you may think it costs a little bit more than it did in the past. You got to realize, bitch, we're not using the styrofoam things anymore. We got to pay more to put your food in shit.
Right, because we're going to have to understand about these right here. They are microwavable, okay?
They're microwavable. So if you do a meal prep, you can use those. Listen, and then know this too. when you're people who you might be buying catering from or meal prep from, or even like me when I just got, opening the kitchen up to do dinners, things that are good for you or good in value cost more.
Yeah.
You ever notice how when it's the fucked up shit? Think about this. A pack of ramen noodles costs how much?
33 cents.
Okay.
$2 exactly.
$3-4.
How much do a head of romaine lettuce cost?
Ooh.
Depends.
Anywhere from $2 to $3.50.
Even more than that.
Everything that we buy that is good for us costs way more than the bullshit.
Yeah.
I cook everything from scratch. Please believe me. Everything I do is from scratch. When I went to go get the stuff, like I was about to cook some of the stuff, and I asked the girl in the store, did they have any cornmeal? Now I know I had some at home, but I don't never like to run out. Because I love my sweet potato cornbread. I make that all the time.
About that.
So I asked the girl for some goddamn cornmeals. I swear to God, y'all, she handed me some boxes of Jiffy. I said, no, ma'am. I asked you for a bag of cornmeal. This is not cornmeal.
Respectful.
I said,
and that's almost like if you go to Circus City or you go somewhere and you go to the electronic department and don't nobody know shit about. I'm like, so why the hell are you here?
Or they offer you that off-brand ass TV.
Wait. Let me tell y'all this one time. We was in class one time, right? We was in, damn, I can't remember which class that was in. But it was my teacher, my professor, it was an audio class. He said, how much y'all want better? He said, who want to prank Guitar Center? Y'all know I ain't got no sense. I said, oh, I'll do it. Okay, so listen, y'all. A plant mic, if you don't know, well, you probably know. A plant mic is any mic that is on a set that you just can't see.
Right.
It doesn't matter what brand it is or whatever. So, like Helena, if you sit at your table right now, and the way you have your camera angled, right? If you had a mic right up under where your hands are, as long as we can't see it, that's a plant mic. It does not matter what brand it is, what style it is, what series it is. He said, call Guitar Center and ask them what's the best plant mic to use. So I called and I said, hi, my name is Nicole and I'm doing a project in school. Ain't this what Cal was talking about last night? How we change our voices up.
Heck yeah.
Hi, this is Nicole. I really need some help. I'm trying to find the best plant mic to work with because I have this project due and I really just don't know which would be the best plant mic I could use. This nigga. This is your job to know about microphones. He done took 10 minutes clicking the keys on the damn keyboard, nigga. What are you looking up, you stupid bastard? I'm sitting there the whole class cracking up. Like, now my professor ain't got no goddamn sense. Professor Wade, his little ass is retarded. He said, look at this guy. This guy, little short white guy. Professor Wade is fucking hilarious. Most people thought he was mean, but he wasn't. I'm like, and I was like, well, you know what? I'll call back. Just keep me a reference just in case for when I call back, you can give me an idea. That's the bullshit. That's like, remember y'all when we had the record stores, right? Tower Music, all that stuff.
I used to love Tower Music, honey.
Me too. And I still remember, because y'all know I told y'all before this, Najee's Morning Tenderness is one of my favorite jazz CDs, right? That whole CD I love from first to last, right? I go in there, I lit somebody mine, and they never gave it back. I wasn't mad because they're a music lover too. So I just was like, all right, fuck it. I'll go get another one. Go in the store. Why do you have somebody that's like, probably just got their working papers,
right,
to have them in the jazz section? I asked them, I just need, can you point me to where Najee, where the section that has Najee, I need Najee's Morning Tenderness. This motherfucker didn't know who Najee was. He said, wait, again, who's Najee?
Come on now. Come on.
This is the jazz section, right? This is the jazz section.
Najee is not no obscure artist like that. He is very mainstream. You should know.
That goes to show how people don't train their people. If you got a young guy like that, he was young and he was white. So maybe you put him with a young pop music, or
Right.
whatever music he knows the best. Put him in the place where he can flourish.
Right.
He white. He might love hip hop. You know, young kids today, hip hop is across the board now.
Right.
So put him where he's going to flourish. Don't put a young kid who you don't know anything about music in places like classical, jazz, blues, stuff like you cannot.
Right, but see, this goes back to what I was saying about the initial subject, knowing what your buyer and consumer wants. Okay.
Right.
So when we're going to your establishment and we're asking you questions about what is this, what is that, be able to tell us about your product.
Right.
Because that will get me to leave.
Don't get an attitude because we ask it.
Exactly. When you come up like that, I'm out. Peace.
I need to know the difference between. I'm just hypothetically saying. I need to know the difference between 8 gigabytes and 16 gigabytes.
Exactly.
Can you tell me no? Like when I go to Walmart, the thing that I say, I get so tired of y'all having people in the arts and crafts section and don't know
shit about arts and crafts.
Don't know shit about cutting fabric.
When I'm asking for different types of yarn, y'all see me put up this. Y'all know that I crochet my ass off, so I know it got to be the same for you, Helena. If you going to get fabric and shit like that, bitch, why are you over here? Or the people that's just out on the floor that don't know nothing. Why are you out here?
Right.
Please, somebody, Walmart, tell me why y'all got 5,000 goddamn lanes, but only got 2 cashiers open every time. But every self, I don't want to go to self checkout. You know why? Because Walmart, y'all don't pay me. If I go to self checkout, then where is my goddamn W-2 form?
Right.
If I got to serve my goddamn self, then that means I did the work. I want to check.
Right. Not to mention some of these things don't have no standard barcode on there, and I ain't got time to be waiting for somebody from this department to come see about me. I need my house so I can go.
Let me tell you something. There has been times that I've been in stores and I've had a little this and a little that, and I asked for something. As a store, you have maybe a 15-minute grace period. If you don't come to see me, and that's on a good day. If you don't come and see me within 15 minutes, I'll leave that whole damn cart right there, whatever in it, and I'll go somewhere else. Because you should always have your employees available for your damn customers, period. And
But I meant to ask you, what username did you use when you went on the thing?
You on the Bigo?
Yeah.
Nighthawk Network?
Okay. I was in my mind, I thought you put Get Off My Lawn.
Mine is Helena Hologram.
Okay. Because I'm going to follow both of y'all so that it'd be easier for y'all to follow me.
Okay. Good.
Is the Nighthawk Network different? Like, is it all one word or?
No, it's Nighthawk Network.
Okay.
Like I was
because the reason why I say is because you know what? Because Helena, he showed me the shit that he done got already for Big O, and I tried to tell him. I said, listen, you got to look past all of that. I promise you, because I almost didn't look past it, and I wouldn't have been able to see all the benefits that we are going to be able to flourish over there.
Fish. Damn.
I looked at it. I said, "Wait a minute, bitch. What's going on here, honey? I see the little thing running."
Baby, I don't got like 9 million motherfuckers asking to be my sugar daddy. They better stop because they catch me on the right day, honey.
Okay. Well, I might get a couple of them up in there once Miss Helena.
Okay. Then I said, "Well, what do you want for this? Because I'm not no prostitute." Okay. They say, "Are you sure?"
Oh.
I don't see.
He said Nighthawk was one word and network was a separate word.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how do we spell Nighthawk? G-H-T or T-E?
N-I-G-H-T. H-A-W-K, yeah.
G-H-T. H-A-W.
No, you cannot call me. Hello. I know you
seem like it's creeping hours to me, honey.
Because like I said, I ain't even got my picture on there, but y'all already talking about,
if you see no matches found, see if you can find me, E. It's not.
Can you see
You found me?
That is me right there.
He got it written Nighthawk and then network separate. Nighthawk together.
Why I can't see it?
You see the picture with the little dude with his face like this.
Wait a minute, I don't know what the heck. Hold on.
Name Aunt Nikki.
It's just Aunt Nikki 215.
Okay, let me try to find
it's all together. Y'all know my avatar come up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. We doing our thing. But look, back to what we was initially talking about.
Yeah, come on.
Like I said, we got 36 hours. Well, give or take a few now.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing, y'all. it's a lot that might happen and could happen in them 36 hours. One of the main things they talked about early this morning, because again, me sleeping like crap, I'm up watching CNN and MSNBC. They talking about some of these pardons he about to do.
Yes.
Now, as you know, for weeks and months now, they've been talking about the possibility of him not only pardoning his children, but himself. And apparently, that's
first of all, I don't think it's not legal for him to pardon himself.
See, that's the thing. He's been questioning the legality of that. He's thinking about doing it just so that can be brought to court. Remember, he has 3 of the 9 justices that he appointed, not to mention the fact that he still is considering running for office again at this point. You know, the impeachment trial aside. Now, here's the thing that bothers me.
Helena, I don't know how I get Eric, but I got you.
These get out of jail free cards,
right?
They being sold to the highest bidder. In other words, there are lobbyists and people meeting with his staff and saying, "I got blase money. Can we get the president to go ahead and let my people slide?" And so on and so forth. Now, keep in mind, they say on this list that consists of maybe between 50 and 100 people.
Yes.
And I don't remember no president ever partnered that many people on the way out the door, by the way.
He said
a lot of these people are people who have committed white collar corporate crimes.
Yes.
Rappers, things of people of that nature, people of that ilk, people that had that type of cachet to offer him in exchange for that little hookup on the way out the door. Now remember, let us not forget that this man, go back to the base, when they talk about the report that they did out of the Washington Post, or was it the New York Times, where they talk about his taxes and how he owes his $400 million to some entity of which we still don't know who or what that consists of.
Is, right.
So remember, he got the money in the campaign that he was using to do his little lawsuits or whatnot. That money is still in his possession and don't have to give it back, mind you. Now he got these people trying to pay off their debt to society. So we got that going on.
But
he's doing everything in his power to cause as much chaos and confusion as he can before he leaves.
And that don't have any criminal intent from him, that people are actually paying him to get pardoned.
That seems criminal as hell to me. But that being said, apparently there is ways around it, as it is in most of the stuff involving people that got money.
That's just like the thing I showed you with this Caucasian woman hounding about she's gonna file for impeachment for Biden. I said, bitch, he's not even in office yet. How the fuck are you gonna file an impeachment for somebody who haven't even been sworn in yet? That's why I say I think we as a country, 2 things we need to do. Get rid of this party shit. Vote who the fuck you want to vote for. No Democrat.
That's how I feel. Now, I am so with that. I want to be able to vote for who I want to vote for, not be for the party. That shit is fucked up. What's constitutional about that?
And then when it comes time for them to vote in Congress or whatnot, let them caucus and get together and figure out of the majority based on what the people that the people that sent them there want, not what is best for their pockets or what the lobbyists might pay for more one than the other. Because again, I swear to God, if any of y'all know any people out there in the network that are lobbyists, particularly congressional lobbyists, please let us know and have them contact us. I really want to have one of them on the show so they can fully explain to people what this lobbyist stuff is and how they control a lot of what really goes on in the government.
Well, you know what? My little brother is a political guru. I'll have him on the show. Trust me.
I was getting ready to say, I know Tommy Blackwell. I don't know if y'all remember this group. It was a group from Philly called No Question.
Okay.
A few years ago, well, about a few years. Tommy was from that group, but his father and grandmother, if y'all look up Lucius Blackwell and Janie Blackwell, those are his grandparents. And now he's an educator. He's a teacher. Tommy is a teacher in school. I think it's middle school. And he's also a politician following his grandparents' footsteps. Yes.
You got two on here. It's the one with the avatar and the one without.
The one that just say 215, not 2151.
Okay, neither one of them say 2151. One is an ID Aunt Nikki 215, and one is an ID with a number.
Don Nikki 215. Do it say look under my picture? Does it say I got 288 fans?
I ain't seen that. It just says where it says follow.
Well, follow it. I can see if that's the right one. I did have two because they don't. Now, this is the one thing. Y'all know how like we can log in on all our stuff on like so many different devices.
Mhm.
Big O will not allow you to do that. So if you're on your phone, you can't go to another phone and log in too. They'll make you create a whole nother one. So you would have to go out of the one that you're on to get on and log in to another one.
Well,
They don't let you be on two at the same time.
I didn't want to put that on my PC till I knew what it was about. I ain't want to send me no viruses or nothing.
right.
I would just do it on my phone, E. I would do it on my phone.
That's what I did.
Do it on your phone or your tablet first to see what's
That's exactly what I did right here.
What's working.
Oh, you know why I couldn't find you? Because yours just still has your ID number. Where it says your ID number, E, put Nighthawk Network there.
Okay.
So that way we'll know that it's you. Because when it just come up a number, like I see it got the little baby.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. See, it just had the number before. Like until I tap on it, I don't get to see him. All I got to see was see that number up at the top. Wait a minute, I don't know where the damn camera is. Y'all see it? See how that come up? It just come up as the number. But if you change your number ID to Nighthawk Network, then I'll be able to know that that's you.
That's a long ass number. But what I want
yeah, that's it, Nikki. It says you got 89 fans, so that's
okay. Thank you. I'm trying to I've been moving up levels really quick. Like right now I'm on rookie 1, but when I get 300 fans, I'm at rookie 2. So and for some reason,
No, I was talking about that song. It's levels to this shit.
It's levels to this shit. It sure the fuck is. I'm on level 12, y'all. I didn't even realize it until I looked down today. I don't know how the fuck I got there. But when people throw gifts and stuff at you, like when we go, like when we get off here, y'all, I'm gonna create a room and tell y'all to come in there just so that I can give y'all a couple gifts. Because when people start giving you gifts, they actually build up. Like right now, what does it say? I have 14,000. 1.4K beans. 455 diamonds. Right now, that's in money, it's about like $8. Okay. So this stuff is really, it does equate to money.
Right.
So I got even though the lady Miss Sunshine that I told y'all about, like I really want y'all to visit her room. Her room is really good. It's just our age and we vibing in there. Right. You know what I'm saying? We have relationship shit and she just talk a little shit. I'm gonna send y'all the flyer too because she's the one I'm in the auction on February 13th. Right. So it's called Fine Wine. So anybody, it's like she had chose a panel of women 45 and up, you know, so we could show that these little young girls like, bitch, y'all don't look better than us. You don't look better than me.
Let me tell y'all something. Cheap earrings still don't work with me. You know I was supposed to put some clear nail polish on this shit, right?
Is your ear turning purple?
It ain't turning purple. I pull it out the hole before it turned purple.
Let me tell you something. Every time I try to put on some of them damn cheap ass damn earrings, that's why y'all always see me with my same little gold hoops. Because every time I try to put on some cheap ass earrings, it feel like my whole ear about to fall off. They ain't got to be in there. They be in there more than an hour. That's it.
Yeah, if it like right now, my earlobe right now feel like it's swollen.
It probably is.
So I had to take that. That's the only good thing about wearing long hair, bitch. If you have earrings on or not, bitch, don't nobody know you ain't got on.
Don't nobody know, honey.
Okay, we got to get back to the message, but hold on. One thing right quick. Leah says, I'm home safe, 1 day down, 4 more to go. Now, Leah's one of the people in our chat.
Please be careful, Leah. Please. Yes, I need, if nobody else be careful, we need Leah to be safe in them DC streets. Leah, is it possible you could call off on the next day?
Hey, I already been there. Like I said, the other night when I went to sleep, falling asleep watching CNN, and they got to talk about troops, and I woke up literally talking about Leah. I swear I did.
What?
Yes. That's the first thing popped in my head at that moment. So, Leah, when I tell you be careful, I really, really mean it, girl.
Yeah, yeah.
You ain't got no PTO you could use, Leah, for the next couple days.
Like I said, if you could send us your location to where we know you are right, I would.
Yeah, I got iPhone, girl. You want me to send you my iPhone number? I got more than one phone number, yo.
Yeah,
Look,
you know,
look.
I can't.
This the back phone. Look, this the.
You know, now I'm not gonna lie to y'all, because of this climate is the way that it is. I move differently.
Me too.
That's good.
Me too.
I move differently. I really do. I move so differently to the point that my safety is first and foremost.
Yes, God.
I'm not being selfish. That's not being my safety.
No.
That's not being selfish.
No.
But you know what? Even if it is being selfish, right now it's time to be selfish. You have to worry about what's going to happen to you.
I mean, and that's not just with the safety issue, with the COVID issue as well. You got because a lot of these people, they don't give a damn.
Because here in Baltimore, for whatever reason, I put it in the group this morning. The one young guy, and you know, keep ass streets in your prayers. The one young guy, he was the co-founders of Safe Street. He was murdered last night.
Mm-hmm.
He protected everybody else from the street, but he wasn't protected.
That's crazy.
Right.
And we're in
this
Baltimore.
climate is crazy.
Hold on, one more thing.
What is today? The 18th?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We have over 20-some murders already.
I believe it. No, one more thing.
I'm scared to check Philly. I'm scared because Philly's murder rate for 2020 was so out of control. Just the shootings was more shootings than it was days in the year.
We had double the amount of shootings last year that we did the year before here in Detroit.
That's why I say, as a parent, I worry about all of my children. I don't care how young they are. I don't care how old they are. Like I told my daughter the other day, she was out at the store. Even though it was her granddaughter, she didn't lock her doors. Her niece walked to the door, opened the door, and I'm like, now, bitch, what if that wasn't your niece?
Right.
Right. You in the store waiting in the parking lot for her to come outside. Until she got outside, you should have heard her pulling on the door, not opening the damn door.
Come on.
Right. So see, what we're saying is this. Yeah, okay, we have the inauguration on Wednesday, and I'm actually going to get to that in a minute. But remember, just because we end up with a new president after 12 p.m. on Wednesday, mean all this shit magically goes away.
It sure ain't. It's probably going to get way worse before it get better. Let's pray that don't happen. But these fools do not want to bow out gracefully.
And they will not, because the person that, quote unquote, leads them is not. To this day, he has not succeeded. He is not acknowledging fully the presidency. They are still fighting just to get the information that's necessary to get everything started. So, yeah, it's a reason why Joe Biden is coming in and he's like, okay, I already got these things set up, because in the end, he don't know what he could get set up or what needs to be set up. He don't know how big the mess is. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, because
you know what's so funny too, y'all? Somebody said something, and they said it not as a way to be jokingly or to be proud of, but somebody said to me, you know, we might be getting ready to have our first female black president.
Yeah.
Because of what they feel like they might try to do to this man.
I heard that too.
So then what? Now you put her life in jeopardy too?
Right.
Or even still, remember, because we got what's going on with the inauguration under tight security and what have you, remember, not only is he getting sworn in that day, but she is as well.
Exactly.
And I love who's swearing her in. Oh my God, I'm so.
Oh, that's beautiful. It is.
Who's swearing her in? Y'all know I haven't been watching. I haven't.
Break it down
to. Sodomay, what's her name?
Yeah, Justice Sotomayor.
Yeah, she's swearing.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the beautiful thing about it. She's going to use two Bibles. The one Bible that they're using was Thurgood Marshall's Bible for when he got sworn in.
Come on.
The second Bible they're using is actually one that her neighbor gave her when she was a young child. And those are the two Bibles she's with.
I'm just, and and the one thing I'm trying to say, and I know y'all get tired of me saying this, and I just want everybody to know, don't expect him and her to get in the White House and shit gonna change on the 21st, because it's not.
I promise you, I will be discussing that tomorrow on the show. I need
Please do, because you know what? Don't y'all do it. First of all, y'all know he gonna need at least 2 years to clean up some of the bullshit.
Because remember, we're working with multiple messes here. We got the COVID mess, we got the racial injustice mess, we got the mess of just who he was for 4 years.
Think about it. Think about it. He has to go in and clean up all the bullshit that Dummy undid from when him and Obama was in there. He has to try to put at least some of the shit back.
There you go. And he's
all y'all uneducated people of color that's always talking about how Obama didn't do nothing at all.
Oh my God! When that topic came up last night, I was like, Father God, please keep my mouth shut.
That is serious
because y'all know I hate that.
I brought that topic up fiercely today on my remix. Trust me, I did.
Because to me, that shows me that you don't understand the way the government works.
Right.
He might have been the president, goddamn it, but the Republicans was running the House and the Senate. What are you talking about? They blocked him at every step of the way.
Yes.
This is the time. This was let me tell you something. And remember, if I don't say nothing else tonight, remember this. This election was a serious, bona fide, teachable moment.
Wasn't it?
Do you hear what I'm saying?
But you know what it taught me though? That I wish Hillary, dumbass, would have fought as hard as he did to get votes recounted.
Yes.
Because all this made me believe is, bitch, you didn't win last time.
You didn't. Because at the end of the day, just like I told people, even the Republicans are not paying attention. Y'all need to realize he said the same goddamn thing when he beat Hillary Clinton. That it was.
Remember, he said that. Yeah, there's nothing happening here. That blah 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 blah. Because remember, Mitch McConnell all on his side.
Remember, not only did he say that, but he actually opened investigations into it. Remember when they talked about, I think they spied on my campaign. I think Obama.
Can you imagine if we would have got all them votes recounted?
And that's another thing. And you know what? Another thing I think they need to do. Excuse me for saying this, y'all. Excuse my language. Fuck the electoral vote. Go on the goddamn.
That needs to go. That needs to go. It needs to be one man, one vote. Period.
And like I said, I understand the reasons why the Electoral College exists, but bottom line, we need to at least revamp the Electoral College, if nothing else.
We need to revamp the Electoral College, and we need to rethink how much motherfucking power we give this one man. Because after that shit that happened on at Congress, they should have stripped him of every goddamn code he had in his name. Do you hear what I'm saying to you?
And I still don't understand why on Green's earth that Mike Pence did not do the 25th Amendment. Why he did not go there. That man trying to get you killed.
Because now
did you just do a bad girl change?
No, I had this for a minute.
Oh, I felt like you just did a change.
I had a dress on this color first.
That's what I thought. I know I ain't that hell crazy.
Yeah, and I will say this. I'll give Mike Pence for after these 4 years, his motherfucking ass finally got some balls. And just like I told my pastor friend,
everybody got him at the last minute. That's why I said when that damn bitch down here, what's her damn name?
Kelly.
That bitch got on there talking that shit. I called Meech. I said, you hear this bitch?
Kelly
Meech started cracking up. I said, oh, now everybody want to concede. And no, I don't. No, bitch, because it came knocking on your front door. It came knocking on your Capitol front doorsteps while your ass was in there.
And you the only damn one that did a debate, had an earpiece in your goddamn ear, and still was sounding.
It still sound like a damn dumbass.
A dumb robot, yeah.
And that's why I say that we as a people, and hopefully us as the Nighthawk Network, we're going to get people more involved in the election process as a whole.
Yes,
I want them to start getting to know their local politicians.
Right.
They really need to get to know their local politicians.
Absolutely.
Because, baby, if you don't know what's going on around the corner, why the fuck you care what's going on up at the Capitol? Because it starts with around your corner.
Yes.
It's
know who those people are.
And there are people who get voted every 2 years compared to every 4 years. But if you only vote every 4 years, you don't know when there are two
You don't
years
know shit.
coming up.
I told y'all when we had to vote, and because of, like I told y'all, technically it's like I live in 3 places at once. Because I actually live in College Park, Georgia, but my address says that I live in Atlanta. Most of Atlanta is Fulton County,
Right.
but my county is considered Clayton County because of where I sit on the lines.
Right.
Okay.
Honey, our sheriff, I don't like him. Y'all know he did. I mean, even though I know as the sheriff, you don't know, you going into every situation thinking everybody is guilty. But you didn't know the situation when it came down to my son. But what you did is you told them motherfuckers go in there and kill him.
Mhm.
So when I seen his name on the ballot, unchallenged, I put my motherfucking name in that motherfucker.
Okay.
I sure did. And then when my daughter went to vote, she did the same damn thing. You kiss my ass because you're going to tell me that because you're unchallenged, I have to give you my vote. You're making me vote.
No.
So, okay, I got you. I can put it right in Nicole Mayo Corsi.
Yeah, there
That's
you
what
go.
the fuck went in that damn box. And when my daughter went back the next day, she put Nicole Corsi. My daughter is named after me.
That's
Bitch, Nicole Corsi got 2 votes.
I tell people that it's important to follow the election because my thing is this: there is no reason why you go to an election that you should not vote. You don't have to like the candidates. Write somebody's name in the write-in.
You can write somebody's name in it just so if you don't want that person to get your vote,
right?
And they are running, you know, nobody's running against them. You can write a name in there. He lucky I ain't put Donald Daffy Duck in that bitch.
And keep in mind, there is presence to that because there have been people who have won elections based on people doing exactly that.
Look, I remember Cole Dan said, now what if your dumb ass win? I said, don't nobody over here know me, but if I did, I'm sure I'd do a better job.
Hello, we had an alderman from my hometown of Annapolis, Maryland, who ran in the special vote, but ran in the special election, and he won off of write-in votes.
Y'all, okay, so here it is. I really want to take some kind of council seat. So I'm going to need the Nighthawk Network to help me figure out what it is that I would have to do. I know my district and stuff now. I looked up all that. I looked up who my council person is for my district and stuff. And I'm going to look and see what may be open. Like Meech is on a board for College Park, but it doesn't affect where I live. He's on the Bida board.
Right.
So what Meech and them does, they undergo and oversee when new real businesses come in. Like when we talk about that stadium that we go to, where we cover the sports, the the G League sports and the WNBA and all that stuff. We cover those games and stuff. But Meech's name, make no mistake, is big as hell on the outside of that building. Do you understand me? And his name is at the top. It's like second or third from the top engraved in the building.
I want to come in and be a locker room reporter.
Oh God, you and Meech in the locker room.
No, I can hear him now. Helena, my eyes are up here. That's not what I'm talking to, honey.
Okay. I told y'all that story when the lady asked her, she was like, well, y'all want to go in the locker room? Me and Red was ready to go, but we forgot all about the way Meech ass was going to ask. Me said, well,
right.
I said, we'll go next week.
I'm not ready. I'm always ready, honey.
But let me ask you this, Nikki. Have you been to council meetings?
Not yet. I just been doing since because I haven't got deeper into the stuff because they've been doing stuff on Zoom. But when I was looking it up, trying to get in on them, then every time I see one, they saying it's postponed.
Right, because I definitely want to go to a couple myself just so I can get a better understanding. But see, what I was told by one of the people that's plugged into the office of the counselors is that once you get in there, seek out some people and have them walk you through some of the processes, about the paperwork and what it consists of and what needs to be done, and things of that nature. Because remember, the council people, more times than not, they looking to go ahead and move on to other things. So those councils are going to be open.
Right. Because I was talking to Meech about that too, because I think he has maybe like a year or two left on Bida. And I was thinking about because I was asking him, like, would you be able to groom me so that maybe with Bida, you have to be invited. But because where he lives and where I live, even though we basically don't even live 5 minutes from each other, the border of where we are, I wouldn't be able to sit on a Bida board. Okay,
because see, my thought process in that is I want to start to have go-to people that we can go to. Like, for example, when we have an issue about police reform, who we call?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I want to know. I want to get deeper into that stuff because
Right.
I start realizing we don't know enough about locally what's going on. And you know, when you weren't thinking about politics before, you didn't realize that what goes on locally is what determines what happens, what determines about where the money goes and who's doing what. And blah, 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 blah. Because there was a time where I only thought, you know, when it was time to vote for the mayor, the governor, and the president. I didn't give a shit about the damn council people. I didn't know.
And see,
Or when we went to go vote, I might not have knew the council people. I just voted for all of them because they was Democrats.
Right, but in some cases, they are even more important than the mayor or the president itself. I mean, think about it. Right now, we sitting here with the little punk money instead of $2,000, not because of the president, because that fool actually approved that message.
Right,
it's the damn Senate that did not.
And see, in Annapolis, where I come from, they're not called councilmen; they're called aldermen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have aldermen in Philly too, but I thought we have aldermen and councilmen.
No,
I thought they got both.
We have aldermen and mayor, and here in Baltimore, we have city council members, and we have like in Baltimore. God knows, I think we have. I'm hypothetically saying we have probably about 20 damn districts. So we have at least 20 to 25 city councilmen that sits on Baltimore City Council.
Wow.
Yeah, see, I just want to know more. And you know what else made me want to look into it more? One time, Meech asked us to come and get footage when we were getting the new College Park mayor. It was the College Park debate.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
At the country club, they had the College Park, the last debate before the election. And me and my daughter went and we covered that for Meech. And I was like, whoa, like being right there and seeing them only get that certain amount of time and the people making sure you don't go over your time. Like, and you see how classier the other people are than dumb idiots like Pitts and 45.
Right.
When these people, when their time was up, their time was up.
Right.
And they respected that.
Right.
And they went to the next person.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Having that grassroots politics makes it a lot easier for you to move on to the next level compared to just going to the next level without following the process. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because I go back to, did any of y'all listen to my my audio podcast this week?
I didn't. You know, you gotta remind me and send me shit.
Okay, well, basically it's called Learn These Lessons. And one of the things I talk about is that, okay, remember, the reason why 45 came into being is because people started looking at it like, these politicians be on the same old crap. For once, I would actually want somebody who's never been a politician to come and take over and deal with things differently. You see how dangerous that was now?
I love it though, because what you want is the regular people. I don't want a politician. I want a regular, hardworking woman or man in an office that know what it's like to figure out how to get these bills paid. You know what I want? I want some parents up in that motherfucker.
I mean, like
some mothers, because you know what? If they don't know nothing else, they know how to budget some money and run some shit and organize some shit.
I mean, perfect example, AOC. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. Remember where she comes from. She was actually a person that worked in a bar and didn't like some of the things she saw in government and got involved and went on and became a representative. Yeah, and now they're trying to ask her to run for Schumer's seat in the Senate when his time comes up.
That's the one who called out Amazon on their shit.
And several others. Like I said, I love her. I love her because, you know, she will oftentimes in her arguments break down what the every man or every woman thinks in regards to what's going on. And she
like we said, Nikki and Eric, like we said, this country needs to do away with these damn lifetime appointments. Period.
Term limit.
Period.
And I'm talking about including the doggone Supreme Court.
Most definitely them, because they be having dementia and everything else setting them. But guess what? They're not dead yet, so they still sitting on their goddamn Supreme Court.
I mean, because
I just don't feel like they should have lifelong seats. There should not be lifelong seats.
Right. RGB, God rest her soul. You know, she was good for what she did with everything, but you know, them last couple of years of her life, she had all type of health issues.
Right.
She should have been running the Supreme Court at that point. That's just my opinion on it.
And then, you know, and then the sad thing is some of these people, that they elect to the courts. They elect them at such an old age. You know, you got some people been on a Supreme Court for 10 or 15 years and they're already 75, 80 years old.
But see, in the same token, remember the last person that's been nominated to Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett, she's only in her middle 40s. She might be there for the next 30 or years.
That's dumb. That's dumb to me. That's very dumb to me because you're not. One thing that our politics need right now is fresh blood. Because this old blood is still doing everything the way that the old guard did it. Apparently, the way that the old guard did it, the shit ain't working.
And again, I referred you to Obama's book, A Promised Land. He talks about that not only in the book, but in a couple of these recent interviews that he's done. That we need to start listening to some of the younger people in the party.
Oh my God! The other day I saw a picture of him on this surfboard, and he ain't have on no shirt. Ooh, girl. I can't hear you, Nikki. Well, honey.
Hold on.
I was trying to unmute myself. I gotta go, but I talk to y'all in a few minutes. Let me know when y'all get off the air.
All right, we're ready to get off. I'm ready to do my outro, and we're going to thank you, Eric. Let me say this. I thank you all for being here tonight. I most definitely want to give a special shout out to my very, very special guest, my spiritual mother, Reverend Jerry Mitchell Lee, because I told you I always call her Jerry Lee.
She was an excellent guest. I really enjoyed her.
She's coming back, and the one thing I love about her is she's like us. She keep it real. So she's gonna send me the information to make that commercial. See, I've been out here boosting this commercial thing, honey. Let me.
Hey, you and me both. You know it.
I told him, I said, you can use your own voice or you can use somebody's voice that we got. It don't matter. But anything that we do, we will send it to you for your approval before we even
absolutely. Shout out to Buck Beats for getting them beats together for us.
Yes, we're gonna them
Buck Beats is me, y'all. Shh, don't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody, but he Buck Beats, but he's doing the thing. I thank you all. Today's show was excellent, and I just see this network moving higher and higher and higher. We got some new people. If the Lord's willing, it's gonna come on board. Let me tell you something. You know, there was an old song a long time ago. I think it's out in the 70s, and it was the simple words was, "Ain't no stopping us now." Plain and simple.
There it is.
Plain and simple. Nighthawk Network, our voice for our
people.
And we have all kinds of people. We have Asian people. We have Caucasian people. We have people from Jamaica. We have black people. We have blue people. We are the melting pot of the podcast network.
Absolutely.
So I want you guys to know. I want to thank you all for being here. Remember to join my brother tomorrow. Let me tell you, get off my lawn, 8:30. It's going to be hot. It's going to be knowledge to be learned. So just come there.
Absolutely. We definitely got some good things to get into in terms of the conversation.
With
Please
an open
join.
heart and an open mind, and just let it flow, because we're not here to just talk to you. We're here to educate you, and you guys are help educating us as well with your comments and your statements. And we're very, very, very grateful for that. You know, next week I'm gonna have to do another color makeup because I don't like this color. But anyway,
okay, H2. One last thing before we go. Can we please say a quick prayer to all those people who are affected by COVID-19 right now, whether it's because you've lost your job or you have a loved one who's hospitalized or you yourself are afflicted with the illness right now. I want to send a prayer out to all of you. Please stay safe and do your best to get better and be well. And
remember, we are here for you, and we pray that you're here for us. And just keep Big Meech in your prayers. Keep Coach V in your prayers. Just keep everybody in your prayers.
One more thing. David Ford, if you're out there right now listening, prayers for you and your mom right now. His mom is in the ICU. She's had some complications due to the vaccine. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that tomorrow too.
Oh, Jesus have mercy. Oh, let me. Yeah, we need to most definitely do. I mean, we're going through all of this health wise, and we're going through all this political stuff. We need to stay steadfast and unmovable in our beliefs. You know, a long time ago they had a saying: if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall. If you
Fall
don't
for
stand for
anything.
you'll
Amen.
fall for anything. And we it's too much knowledge out here for us to obtain, for us to just fall for anything. And like my mom said earlier, you have to study to show yourself approved for you. You can't
Mm.
live your spiritual life off of your mother, your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, because that's not your ticket to hell. That's not your ticket to heaven. Your ticket to heaven is having your own personal relationship with your higher being.
Absolutely.
So, guys, we love you. We thank you for being here. I get an opportunity to show my wonderful old outro that my associate producer does for me. Y'all don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous.
That's me too, y'all.
That's him too. Don't be jealous. Now I just gotta find it. Which one? I got it. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. And remember, always keep your family and friends in prayers. And like my son said today, please take time to tell somebody that you love them. Don't wait too late, because that's one of the hardest feelings in the world, to have somebody slip away
Mhm.
from you and you didn't have the
Give
opportunity
people their flowers while they're here.
while they're
Absolutely.
here. And do your best to make, I mean, I know you may be plastic, but please don't give them plastic flowers. Good night.